Hello, hello. Welcome to Friday in the Real World. Just another day in the panelverse and panel world. Welcome. I'm gonna have a few tweets I want to share. I'm gonna do a short little video, talk about Socrates a little bit, and then open up the panel. Let me start with see what tweets I have. There's a video I want to watch. It's by Pete Buttigieg. It's a little clip of his. And he's talking about all the things I've been talking about, it feels like for years on here. About narratives on social media and how to determine what's true and what's not, and using your thinking skills to help determine that. I will, after I do my topic, I'll put the panel's not open quite yet. But first, look at this little tweet. This is America's richest and poorest states versus different countries. And it goes by GDP, so there's other ways to measure this, but this one is doing it by GDP. Okay, richest state is DC. That's only because it's a city, not a state, so it gets to count just the urban area. New York, Massachusetts, here's the U.S. average, Arkansas, West Virginia. Look, Canada, not Laos. Y'all are behind. West Virginia is the second poorest state in the U.S., and Canada's behind it. Here we have the poorest state, Mississippi. And then look at these, the UK, France, Italy, Japan, all poorer than Mississippi. This was from data from accessed October 2nd, 2024. So to kind of put into perspective the different economies of the world and how great the U.S. is, even if you live in Mississippi or West Virginia. Are you even the real Mike? Let me make sure you're Mike. I usually do a topic before I open the panel. I don't just start with an open panel. Yeah, you're not Mike. Goodbye. You're exactly the troll I thought you were. All right, let's watch this little video from our boy Pete. And then we'll maybe talk about it.
Let me say this. One theme that was in the book that I think we need to spend a lot more time thinking about is how we get information. So you recall I wrote up a little bit these studies on vaccine misinformation and the fact that Russia didn't just push anti-vax message.
That hair.
Often what they would do is
right
they would push
the
an
80s.
anti-vax message and a pro-vax message at the same people because the point was just to get you at each other's throats. And I think a lot of that's happened recently.
I don't even
yes,
think it takes Russia to do that.
Presidential candidate. But their biggest objective wasn't to have for one side to win. It was to break down our trust. It turns out all the nuclear weapons in the world are not capable of doing what this information vector into our society did with shocking efficiency. And we're behind. I don't just mean like those who are on my side of the political spectrum are behind. I think America's behind. Here's something to think about in terms of trust. For the last 100 years, it's been possible to more or less decisively settle a question with photographic evidence, right? If you're trying to prove whether a thing happened or not, if you're trying to establish whether somebody's telling the truth or lying, in politics, in the courtroom, whatever, one of the best tools you could use to try to establish the truth was a photo. That's basically not true anymore, or it's about to be not true, right? The AI
I think it's not true now. I saw it on YouTube.
Getting out of the period where already with the deepfakes and stuff, we're kind of graduating out of that. Now, on one level, that's terrifying because it's one symptom of the fact that right now we have never had more information and we've never been less informed, right?
Because people don't know how to separate
of the information
signal from noise.
we're living with, and having our news feed be decided by an algorithm instead of an editor, right? On the other hand, if that was true for the last 100 years, then that means it was not true for the thousands of years before the 1920s, right? So what do we do before that? I mean, we had signatures as a means of authentication. useful, not exactly impossible to defeat, right? But there were people who helped figure out what was a forgry and what was
That's
real
how they
in the
still
17th
do with
century,
vote
right?
by mail.
So we've got to be harder targets for this misinformation stuff. And we got to recognize that sometimes the misinformation that comes at us won't just be designed to attack a person, it will be designed to attack our trust itself. We just lived this in a huge way.
Well, it's working. Look at the. Actually, we
in
looked at the
Hurricane
trust
Helene
levels
response.
the other day. They're higher than it seems like it should be.
and
So that's part of the
There's only a couple
misinformation.
solutions I know of. One is to get things and people offline. Again, I think this is a mayor's instinct. You run into somebody at the dog park and they're the same person who is just horrible from behind a keyboard, but you're actually talking to them, they're not so bad.
Yeah, I know. I know who they are.
With
I know
Elon.
you talking about.
I don't know if you followed this. Like he texted this thing, or he tweeted this thing that wasn't true about the FAA, and I just asked him to call me, and then he did, and then we solved the problem. I'm under no illusions about the bigger picture, but that happened, right? So one is try to find
didn't
people
get the
offline
joke.
when they're better than when they're online. The other is to actually understand the dynamics of the information space.
Yes.
And this is a message I have in particular for young people who are ready to make yourself useful in the political and social life of this country. Because we've got to be harder targets. Look, I bet in the 17th century, if I was walking down Harvard Square, if we had a Harvard Square then, or outside of Massachusetts Hall, and somebody handed me a pamphlet that was printed on a printing press, I would have been pretty impressed. I would have been more inclined to believe it. Because not everybody has a printing press. This must be legit, right? And then over time, we became more sophisticated. I don't know if Gen Z even did.
No, they don't read.
If you should find yourself reading a hard copy, well, you got my book.
They
So
don't.
if you find yourself
Audiobooks.
reading a hard copy of Time Magazine or the New York Times or whatever,
YouTube
sometimes
videos.
your eye falls on newsprint, and it's designed to look like an article, but it's actually an ad. And it only takes your brain like half a second to realize it's an ad. You just have some pattern recognition that tells you, right? We don't have that at the same level on the digital stuff. And every
Right.
time we form it, a new
Or the
medium
YouTube
arises.
videos.
We're going to have to figure out how to pick through that and really understand what's real and what's not real, right? That's the difference between the person who is correctly upset with the administration because we haven't solved their economic problem and the person who is happy with their economic circumstance but has been led to believe that unemployment is an all-time high in the United States of America, right? If we can at least be having politics over this, then it's over reality. And if we're getting dinged, it's because of something we actually got wrong. So I think those themes of trust and what we do in order to have access to the same reality matter more than ever. But I don't have the prescription, other than more time offline. And more circumstances.
That's not gonna happen.
One other thing, more circumstances that pull us offline. I think military service does this. I think any pattern of belonging that is not predicted by your political affiliation, that can be in a faith community, a neighborhood, a sports team, whatever. Find those, because those
Community.
overlapping circles are really important.
In-person
But
community.
the rest of it, not to put it back at you, is kind of what this generation is going to have to help us lead the way out of. Because my generation clearly can't figure it out.
Our generation.
Gen X can help. We were doing that. Okay. Also, Nietzsche talks about something called perspectivism. It's impossible to have objective truth. Truth is conditioned by the perspective of each person observing, thinking, processing the truth. So the suggestion for getting close to truth or reality is just to get as many perspectives as you can and kind of combine them and find some kind of mean between them all. Asymptotic approach, where if you get enough perspectives, they eventually converge at something close to zero. Hey, Daniel Berry, happy Friday. Waffles, hello. The Fourth Turning. No, I have not. Let me look it up. So when we do our Nietzsche book club coming up soon, Genealogy of Morals with Flow State, perhaps we'll talk a little bit about perspectivism. But that's one, I think, useful paradigm to keep in mind. Is it called the Strauss-Howe generational theory? Historical events are associated with recurring generational personas, archetypes. Each generational persona unleashes a new era called a turning, lasting around 21 years, in which a new social, political, economic climate mood. Let me that kind of holds true for Gen X. I think ours went a little longer than 21 years, but we were the children of the boomers. Okay, this is interesting. I'll take a look at it. And the other thing I want to offer is a Socratic perspective, which I've offered before. I'm going to take it from this book by Richard Tarnas, The Passion of the Western Mind. It's a good little primer on intellectual history, on the development of ideas from the Greeks to now. And he gives a little description of Socrates and his method for finding truth. So I'll just read it again. I've introduced it before. Socrates developed his famous dialectical form of argument that would become fundamental to the character and evolution of the Western mind. It's fundamental to logic. It's one of the foundations of logic. It's fundamental to the scientific method. All of the tools I talked about yesterday, the Socratic method, the technique of questioning that Socrates developed is at the root of all of those. And it's pretty much what I try to do on this stream every day. Reasoning through rigorous dialogue, that means talking to each other, as a method of intellectual investigation intended to expose false beliefs and elicit truth. Socrates' characteristic strategy was to take up a sequence of questions with whomever he was in discussion, relentlessly analyzing one by one the implications of the answers in each in such a way as to bring out the flaws and inconsistencies inherent in a given belief or statement. Let's see. To practice philosophy in the Socratic manner was continually to subject one's thoughts to the criticism of reason in earnest dialogue with others. So it's a dialogical process. It takes more than one person. It takes another person on the other end of it to talk through the facts, the evidence, what's true, what's not true, asking questions to get closer to understanding which beliefs we should adopt, which ones we should discard, etc. Genuine knowledge was not something that could simply be received from another second hand like a purchased commodity. It's not something you just consume. It's not something you just receive from a YouTube video or from reading an article or a tweet and then you have knowledge. It requires this secondary process or this additional process of dialogue with other humans. Again, going back to Nietzsche's perspectivism, getting different perspectives, and through the process of getting as many different perspectives as you can, you refine that initial assumption or belief into something closer to the truth. Refining opinion into knowledge is how Samuel Johnson phrases it. It was a personal achievement won only at the cost of constant intellectual struggle and critical self-reflection. The life not tested by criticism is not worth living, or the unexamined life is not worth living, as you may have heard it phrased before. Okay, so that's what I wanted to offer. I think Pete helps to identify the situation that we find ourselves in now, the age of narrative, or narratives. I've tried to provide some tools to help us out of it, and I try to model that and demonstrate that on the stream every day, so I'm going to continue to do that. I just wanted to recapitulate all of that in light of the Pete video. Okay, I'm going to drop the link. We'll get the panel going. There you are. And I'll catch up on comments. And I want to check out this Strauss-Howe theory too. All right, let's see. AI is not helping in the sense that it's easier to fake things, and it's easier to create misinformation with the AI. But it does help to kind of organize and sift through, and the AI is pretty good at organizing information in a way that helps with that reasoning process. Yeah, it should. We could call it the genealogy of flow states morals too. I have a feeling he's he's already identifying a lot with Nietzsche's writings. He read the Antichrist, so I have a feeling he's going to find his morality very much in line with Nietzsche's vision of morality that he didn't actually get to publish. It's in notebook fragments. You get the same welcome as everybody else, Monsoon, whoever you are, unless you're here to troll. Then you get a one-way ticket to hell. Hey, Vinny. I don't really know his politics. I just he just happened to be the one in that video. I know he's on the left, but I don't know his specific policies. All right, let's see. That's all I have for the topic this morning. I'm looking at this generation theory. I'm a little skeptical of finding patterns in a process as dynamic as human history. I mean, there may be some rough patterns there, but hello, T-Bar, Tibber. But I think any one paradigm or pattern is going to end up being reductive. I think human reality, including history, is larger than any one paradigm or set of patterns can capture. Let's talk to Chuck. Hey, Chuck.
What's going on?
What's going on?
Thought I'd come up so you wasn't by yourself up here.
Oh, well, that's
I couldn't tell you where flow state lands. As long as I've interacted with him, I could not tell you. I see a jaded person is what I see.
you see a what person?
Jaded?
I don't know. I find him like I can always count on him to be himself. There's not a lot of surprises when it comes to him. He's pretty open about what he's up to. And so
Which is
I think if people are confused by flow, they're importing and overlaying some value system of their own with a set of expectations that come with it that flow himself has probably been very clear about many times that he does not subscribe to. I think it's people wanting to see something more in flow than is actually there. But I take him at his word.
oh yeah, I do too. We're friends, even though we disagree on a lot of things. We're still able to have a friendship.
In
I
fact,
gotta
let me
fix my
drop his new
I
channel.
gotta
He's
fix
trying
my
to
headphones. Yeah, the powdered dusty.
the powder
If you got the
dusty.
right.
Yeah, that is the new
Yeah.
flow state. So here's his channel. If you haven't subscribed yet or give him a like, we're gonna do that Nietzsche book club soon, and we're gonna probably double stream it on the two channels. Let me give you the. There's a free copy online. I'll pop that in the chat. We're gonna do the first essay. So if you want to participate, really, all you have to read for now is the first essay. Hello, T-Ball. Everyone else. So
Question.
Waffles and Waddles is not the same person? Okay.
When was Nietzsche his time period?
Late 1800s.
So why would anybody put any stock into that?
Well, why would anyone put any stock into Socrates or Plato either? Which was
That's
way even
true.
further in the past than that. I think they put stock in it because they evaluated on the merit of the ideas themselves
Which
and
is
not
what you're supposed
necessarily
to do.
the
Yeah.
time period or the source. He was just before Freud. So you had Nietzsche, Freud, Marx, all about the same time, and they were probably the last major thinkers of the Western
I was
world.
th- I was thinking Young might have been the last.
Yeah, if some people throw in Jung, I see him as more of an offshoot of Freud. I find Freud more useful than Jung, personally. I don't even buy into the concept of a personal unconscious, much less a collective one. And it's perfectly possible to study archetypes without the supposition of a collective unconscious.
All right, question, Jeff. Where do your morals come from?
That's a good question. I'd say that the simple answer is nature and nurture, or nature modified by nurture. And being raised Catholic, I think I took a lot of them from Catholic Church, catechism class. Believe it or not, I think a lot of them come from my mom. She taught us not to lie, not to steal, not to hurt other people. She modeled that behavior herself. Like if she was in a store and the cashier gave her too much change, I would see her go back in the store and tell the lady like, "Oh, look, you made a mistake. You gave me too much. Here, I owe you this much back." She would So I watched her having like that kind of integrity growing up, and it
How old
probably
is your mom?
passed on to me. Do what?
How old is your mom?
Let me calculate. I think she'll be. She's like what, 70, 78. She'll be
Okay,
80 in a few years.
she's a little older, about 15 years older than me. 14.
Older than you? Wow. I didn't know
Believe it or not.
anybody was. Never. I'm just kidding.
Who do you think moved all the dirt around when the lights came on?
Well, how did they do the pyramids? Everybody's wanting to know. How did y'all accomplish that?
How did we accomplish that? It's
Yeah.
easy.
Was
We
it
floated them.
lots and lots of slaves?
We floated them down the river, and through a series of pulleys and ropes, we put them in place.
I tried to tell him that. But then how did you get the blocks aligned where you couldn't stick a piece of paper in between? That's blowing their minds. Even though I could probably do that with 2 blocks even today.
They probably used water pressure to cut the stone. If you use water pressure, you can get a clean cut.
Well, they only had copper and was it copper and iron tools or something? How could they have water pressure?
From the from the
They were
river.
technologically primitive. They weren't as advanced as intelligent as we were. How did they
You
do
don't
all of that?
you don't think they were as advanced as us?
I do.
I mean, I don't subscribe to the theory that an alien placed them in place. That's for sure.
No, I don't either. I don't think it takes an alien. I think it's something that humans seem perfectly capable of, and obviously we're capable of. Thank you, Monsoon. You mean my plain green T-shirt? Thank you. I don't even know where
It's
I got it
probably the
from.
plaid. But he probably
Oh,
likes the
well,
plaid.
this shirt. Okay, this old thing. Literally, this old thing. I dug it out of storage the other day. I was in there, and I noticed I had a few shirts laying around that I hadn't grabbed out. Thank you. I need to learn to get better at taking a compliment. I'll just say thank you. From the car wash, right? At the car wash.
Oh my God, that goes back.
No, that was Gen X, baby. That was 1976. That was the beginning of Gen X, and Star Wars was 1977, just a few months later. You
I
take
remember
the
when
movie Car Wash, the movie Star Wars, you mash them together, throw in some punk music, a little bit of new wave. You got your Gen X right there. So how have things been going with you? What have you been up to? How is your real life
crazy.
still?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's just a matter of getting acclimated again to one another.
Are they there for a while?
Oh yeah. Well, maybe. That's what
Oh.
I'm saying. It's crazy.
Oh.
You know, when you disrupt a household, you always have problems.
Oh, you mean like everybody else in the house having to get
Yeah.
adjusted? Yeah.
Yeah. Me, I'm so easy to get along with. It takes a lot to disrupt me.
Yeah, you do seem pretty chill and laid back. How many are in your house now?
One, two, three, four, five. If you just
Dang.
count the people.
Yeah, I was about to say not even counting the animals.
Exactly. I mean, that's on top of my daily responsibilities to my 4 cats and whatnot, chickens and ducks.
The ducks, yep. You have what, a dog? Some cats?
Yep, it's her dog. 2 outside cats, 2 inside cats.
Monsoon, you're welcome to come up. We can find out what your story is. The what's the story really comes from what narrative. There's so many stories. Which one is the story? How do we know what the actual story is? I don't know if we ever do. I think we just come close. And we
We
come
make it.
closer the more we talk with different people. And it's like the blind man and the elephant. We're all touching a part of the elephant. And we have to get the information from the other people, touching the other parts. It's like a co-op video game. And we need to all put our information together to get closer to the actual big picture. Or even the detailed picture. No, I can. I mean, I'm pretty much always doing a dive into that kind of stuff. Okay, that's fine. I do have at some point I'll do it. I'll do it whenever it happens. It happens. But I want to do a history of Satan, the character of Satan, beginning with the Greeks, the Hebrews,
Are, are
the
you talking about,
Persians.
which one
The,
are you talking about? Satan, Lucifer, the devil? Which one?
all of them.
Hmm.
But it's going to end in Satan himself.
Because they are not the same person.
Well, there's actually different traditions. In some, they are the same person, and Satan is the fallen form of Lucifer, but it's the same being.
Same
And then in
person.
others, they are two different beings. Lucifer is a separate entity from Satan. So it really just depends what tradition you're going off of. Hey, Nick Volt. But that's the same with
Oh,
Jesus and God. Like God the Father in the New Testament is definitely not the same character as Yahweh, the war God of the Old Testament. The Holy Spirit shows up in a few different forms. Mary takes a different role in the mythology depending on which tradition you follow, etc.
yep. That's a fact. And who's right and who's wrong?
There is no right or wrong because I think it's just human creativity. Like which Batman is the right Batman? It's each director's vision, each artist's vision of of that character, and it changes as the visionaries, artists, writers, thinkers create new versions. Bex, hello.
Yeah, I hadn't seen Nick Bolt in eons. I thought he'd left the interweb.
Oh, Nick
I
Vogt,
like
what's your
Nick.
story?
I like Nick. I can
Yeah, I think I've
relate to a
seen him
lot.
on a few. I like, if I remember him correctly, I like him because he's more scientifically minded
Yes,
than
that's
a lot
that's
of
him.
people in the Panelverse. He probably understands the Socratic method. He probably understands logic, the scientific method. He probably understands how they built the pyramids and the limits of our ability to fully understand and reproduce them and the implications of that. He probably understands radiocarbon dating.
Yeah, that one there is kind of up in the air at the moment. Radiocarbon dating. It's not as good as what they claim. I think is what the latest thing is.
Well, they don't. They use it in combination with other methods, and they have the pyramids dated within about a 20-year range, which is pretty good. Now, this channel was created November 21st, which is yesterday. So
Who
this
is
may
it?
not be the actual Nick Volt.
Oh, okay.
This could be a Nick sock.
Well, put an overlay up
So
to
just be
find out.
aware, if this is Nick, he's on under a new channel. Well, what's happening today? It's Friday.
Uh,
Anything exciting? Do you have a weekend? Do you? get anything that resembles a weekend?
Oh, hell no. Not around here. I have to make my time when I can.
Oh. Yeah, I noticed we haven't been seeing as much of you. Even on the other panels, I don't see you very much.
Well, the last 2 days I've had StreamYard issues,
Oh,
and I finally had to
Vinny, you
delete
got
it
to play nice.
and reinstall it. Who's Vinny arguing with?
Vinny Pots and Pans. He's remember the portal, personal growth. Did the portal close that quickly? I think it did. I think it closed that night after those other people came on the stream.
And I don't know how anybody could be triggered by Nick.
Also,
I,
Vinny doesn't have to calm down either. That's the other side of the rule. This is a calm up space, calm down free. Nobody has to calm down. Everybody can have whatever intensity of emotion they want to have.
it's
We don't
called
care any
Sluggalicious.
emotions around here. We'll save that for all the other panels on YouTube.
And they're out there, trust me.
Oh, I know. It's there's very few panels I can still go on.
I don't go to many anymore just for the lunacy. You know,
Oh, you don't go on
people
a lot of
co
them anymore?
no, people co-sign on all this mental illness that people have on these interwebs. It's just fascinating.
Yeah, it's something to see. I try to keep it relatively healthy here.
Yeah, I just downloaded a workbook yesterday. I think it was like 300 pages on neurodivergent aspects.
Oh, where's that from?
I'll have to go get it. I'll have to look it up.
Okay. Yeah, I'd love to take a look. That might help me here. Was it what's is it for neurodivergent people themselves or their
Yes,
caregivers?
yes. It's for working with the neurodivergent. Now, I haven't read through it to see if it's any good or
How many pages did you say?
300.
Okay, I found something called the Neurodivergent Skills Workbook. Oh, this one you have to pay for. Was it free?
No, it was not free.
Oh, okay. Well, this might be it. Even Target sells it.
It was like $89.
Gross. They have one on. It's a workbook of DBT skills, which I hate.
Rose.
I'm very skeptical of DBT was developed for suicidal borderline personality women, but they try to apply it to everything now because it's a way of getting people to regulate their emotions, and I'm very skeptical of the regulation of neurodivergent people instead of letting them be their natural self. Just
Who
because
did, who,
their emotional level is different doesn't mean it needs to be regulated, that there's anything wrong
who
with it.
who did you call Rose?
Who?
Oh, I thought you said Rose a minute ago. A name.
Oh, no.
Sorry, I misunderstood you.
I don't think I know a Rose, actually.
Where's what Rose 777? You know her, don't you?
Oh, maybe the screen name.
Yeah, she's the handicapped lady in the wheelchair.
Oh, no, I didn't know that. I just know her as a little name on a screen. Not lies.
Gotcha.
Neurodivergence is not brain damage. It's neurodevelopmental. It's a takes different developmental paths in the womb than a
Yeah,
neurotypical embryo.
yeah. My son is not brain damaged. His brain is
That's
just wired different.
just ignore him. That's not lies spreading out his information, misinformation like he always does. Just like
That's that
in
maple.
that.
That's the maple syrup. I keep telling you.
Yeah, I'm glad I played that video earlier today, and that Not Laws is here to provide me a living example of it.
And I'm sorry, anybody out there, but you can't fix the these people. They are who they are.
There's nothing to fix. That's why I
Well,
don't. I'm this whole ABA stuff. That's for the adults. That's for the parents, the teachers. That's to make everybody else comfortable. That's not for the child's benefit. That's conversion therapy.
exactly. It's for you to learn how to interact with that person on their level.
They tried to do the same thing with the gays a while back. They wanted us to act and behave a certain way
Yeah,
instead of just being our natural self. So I
public
don't know
lynching
why
got
they can't learn
outlawed.
from that. Why can't they apply the same approach that they learned to take with the gays and the trans and all the other rainbow people and apply that to neurodivergent people? It's the same exact principle. Just let people be who they naturally are as long as they're not hurting anybody. And somebody stimming or rocking in their chair or spurging out or whatever is not hurting anybody.
Oh shit!
Um,
Yeah, I got
Lou, I tend to be an ABA skeptic, but there are very specific. It's very individual. It depends on the individual person. There are some situations where it may be if they're banging their head against the wall, if they're hitting other kid, that kind of stuff. There could be certain very context specific situations where some of the tools and methods of ABA could be helpful. But I'm
what?
skeptical of this widespread blanket approach that it's the go-to intervention because
What is
it's designed
ABA?
to modify behavior that people other than that kid or that child or that person find objectionable. It's not determined by the kid himself. It's determined by the
Society.
adults around.
Yeah.
Yes, it's over socialization to me.
If you
It's a
don't fit
way
in
to
within
socialize
society's norms,
somebody against their natural norm, their natural state of being. Instead of, I think it's healthier if you can let people be their natural self.
and it's hard. Trust me, it's hard sometimes to let them go against societal norms.
It like are you talking about when you're out in public or even at your house
E-
by yourself?
either or, you know, we're brought up in a society of what is expected behavior and actions and thoughts, and when anything goes contrary to that, then we have to fight ourselves.
Right, people freak out. Why is that? What's behind that?
It's because we were raised in a our brain is different than theirs, and we don't accept it. We have to accept it. It's not like a mental illness. It's a physical thing, in my opinion. Their brain is physically wired different than what normies are. And it took me a long time to figure that out.
Lou, they should be able to like do an assessment, an evaluation on him first, and figure out what his specific needs are, and set very specific goals about the behavior they're trying to modify, and hopefully not let it spread beyond those
Yeah, there's
bounds
a
that they set. So
difference
if they're working
between,
on specifically the hitting, the outburst, I would more try to understand what's behind the outburst and be able to tell the difference between a tantrum, an outburst, a meltdown, etc. Sometimes they're all different things, and they require different solutions. And so,
exactly.
hopefully, you have an experienced ABA person that can distinguish
What
between all
is
those things. We
what
have
is
Mr. Pye here.
ABA? What is
Um,
ABA?
Applied behavior analysis.
Oh, I thought I knew all the acronyms. That's a new one on me.
What's up, Pye?
Hey, what's
Mr.
just
Pie, how you doing, buddy? Long time
hey,
no see.
Oh, have you
what's
been
up?
away from the Panelverse for a while?
Yeah, I think so. Just been making some rounds today. I think I got a little
What?
trigger. I got a little
You,
triggered earlier on.
well, I seen you get trashed last night.
Yeah, so
What happened?
I thought I kind of.
Paul enslaved happened.
Well, did you think that I held my ground at all, Chuck, or did I look like a moron?
he wasn't going to let you hold your ground.
It's
I'm
hard.
sorry.
To me, it's hard to look like the moron when Paul's on the stream. You were worried that you looked
Exactly.
more of a moron than Paul did.
You didn't
Well,
look like a
no, it's just,
moron to me.
what'd you say, Chuck?
Is that, I said you did not look like a moron to me.
Yeah, I think it's probably, and maybe that I'm letting my emotions get or whatever, but it did kind of trigger slash spiral me because when someone, it, you know how people can just like manipulate words and
Yep.
twist
Twist them
things,
around. Mm-hmm.
and so it went from me talking about how I honored my father or I have a good relationship with my parents to your dad's a beta cuck. Um,
Well, you
What?
got to remember, he doesn't have a good relationship with his dad,
well,
so he
yeah,
holds
no, I
that
get
against
that. So
everybody.
yeah, so I mean, it turned into I just told a story where my father he got in a wreck when he was like 27, um, got a chemical burn, and he decided not to sue his company. And he was like, "Yeah, your father's a coward."
I did that too.
He goes,
I suffered
because
an injury, but I didn't sue.
yeah, I was like, "Well, my dad was loyal to the company, and he just was doing what he knew what to do." And he's like, "What's your dad do? That's what's true and what's right. What's what name one thing that your dad does as an honorable man?" I'm like, he was my coach. He's was there for me my whole life. He still is. I called him after. Like, what are you talking about? Like, at what point do you? So your standards of anyone being a good person is that if you don't have a license plate or a license, that's your standard. So like that's like 99% of the world doesn't fit your standards. I mean, are not being an honorable person. So I'm not. I he always says, what do people do on the ground? What have you done in your life? What are your results? And I'm like, hey, well, I had a bar when I was 24. I've had 3 businesses now. And he's like, yeah, they're all failed. So you're a failure. And he
No.
was just, dude, he was just,
You had
he was just,
three. Just being able to do a business at all, you did it 3 times.
yeah, I did it 3 times. And maybe I wasn't successful, but what does successful mean? I mean,
Well,
I
I
don't
think
really care.
you define that for yourself. Don't let other people define
Exactly.
Yeah,
what success
well,
is.
yeah, well, so I was trying to get to that, but I wasn't allowed to. Um, it's just frustrating. Um, and then at the end of the day, I thought, well, and I guess even me doing this right now is showing that it did bother me, and it shouldn't. Um,
Well,
uh,
it did. That's
but it
that's
did.
the
I
important
guess it
thing.
did. That's the honest thing about it. But I'm like, why do I even need to prove? I mean, I guess the only thing we need to prove to anyone is or to ourselves only. So who gives a shit what
Well,
somebody on the
are you
internet
and
thinks?
Paul friends? I was wondering why you were even on his show to begin with. If you like, I haven't watched his show a lot. I just know how he is, and I know what he's gonna
Uh,
do if somebody goes on his show.
well, I I started following him like as a multitude of like synchronicities. So I kind of they kind of happened, and there were some things that gravitated like there were some things that resonated with me with the thing, and I see what he does and everything, and I normally just go up and play characters. I I I do a bit, I do a joke. That's what it started off of. I was making fun of Queen Stephen, so
Uh,
I had a tiara on and a scepter and dark. I painted. It was like a whole little bit. It was. I got the tiara right here.
that's a respectable troll.
Yeah, so I went up there to play a character, and everyone got a kick out of it. And then they were talking about some like deeper shit, and I wanted to chime in. And then I was chiming in, and then it turned into maybe it's for the likes, maybe it's for I can't really truly believe that he doesn't think I'm like a good guy, but I don't think a good guy is acceptable for him. So like a good guy would just mean like someone that capitulates to anything and everything. So there's no winning the match,
Yeah.
you know. Not, so I try to battle back, and like I try to be transparent about my life because I think that's why people resonate with me more is because I'm willing to be an open book. And maybe it's not the best place to do it on the internet, right? But at this
That
point,
is one of the debates. I'm the same way though.
yeah. So it's like I mean, if I'm trying, I I don't really need um the thing, but with the audience or whatever. But I mean, it does feel good. You know, it feels good when people like your stuff and they hit the likes and they
Do you have a channel of your own?
I do. I haven't posted anything in like years,
Oh,
but
okay.
so I haven't. You know, it's just like more nature shit. A couple videos. I was doing some stuff during like in 2020. My shit got murked
Oh.
for misinformation. Apparently, that's not misinformation anymore. But anyways, so I mean that's not my goal. My goal was, you know, is just to kind of have a sense of communication. You know, to converse with people with different ideas, and I think it's interesting to see different people's like perspectives on everything in life. So, um, in a good way, like to have civil discourse, and um, there's so many like fascinating topics nowadays, like with philosophy and religion, and we have so much access to all this information, all this knowledge that we didn't have before, and to just you know just to talk to people and see what the hell they think about it. And it's interesting to see the difference of opinions with a lot of people. Um, but to me, that's truly what I normally come up. I listen, and then when I want to come up, I normally just make a joke or a bit, and then when I'm a little fucked up, like I did too many mushrooms last night.
Oh. Oh, so it was Paul Unslaved on shrooms.
Yeah, I mean they didn't
So
really
it
know
got
that.
really deeply embedded in your brain.
Well, Pi was on shrimp, not Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
he was experiencing Paul while he was on shrooms.
yeah, so it just kind of turned. It turned a little sideways, but kitty. Um,
She's beautiful.
but look at this though. Kitty, say hi, kitty.
Very
Yeah,
regal.
Um,
I love
but
Kitty.
but I mean, I'm going through. I mean, I'm going through my own shit right now. So like, I'm about to move my farm. I sold the farm. Like, if anyone's
Oh,
kept up with the story or whatever.
Yeah,
So
where are you moving to? Back home?
yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go stay with my
Good for
mommy.
you. Good for you.
Yeah, I mean, normally I go home for Christmas anyways, but it's like only for a couple weeks. So this time it'll be for a couple months, and
Awesome.
I always have a lot of. You know, every time I go home, I always do feel. I felt really good. Like the older I get, my heart warms up to. Oh shit! I should be around these people. These people are pretty awesome. Which is this
Well,
that was the point that Paul couldn't understand is that I actually have an awesome family, and maybe he
I'll
doesn't.
give you a piece of advice if you want, Jeff.
Sure, I'm
I
open here.
I found this out the hard way. cherish your family because one day they will not be there. And when the end comes, if you're not in a good spot with them, it's going to make it that much harder for you. Not for them, but for you. You
Yeah,
know,
and
just
the other
remember they done the best that they could for you.
well, yeah, I mean that was kind of my point of contention in the argument was I don't know if I could have asked for a better family. And I think that's just it's like hard for some people to wrap their fucking heads around that.
Well, you got to
And
remember, Paul had a highly dysfunctional family.
yeah, and
Paul's
So,
going to find a way to shit on anything anyway. Like it.
exactly.
yeah, I mean, so for me, I I got him to laugh a few times, like even after him insulting me. Um, and apparently my father's a beta cuck male. That's
Well, do
nobody.
you
He's not.
think that?
I don't. No,
Well, then
not at all.
why? Who cares what Paul
That's
thinks?
well.
You
Okay, I know, but I guess that's what has me triggered today. Is because if you watch the broadcast, it's it's the way that someone can. It's so crazy how someone can manipulate and twist a story and then make you look like an idiot and then not let you really finish your talk and then like have the
He tried
final
that. He
word.
tried that with me, and that's when I cut. I cut all ties with him when he
So
tried that with me.
so and I think I have really good timing and I think I'm smart kind of savvy guy and not I think I know when to come in and when not. So I don't I I don't intrude. Um, but I think I guess it's always something. It's always a fight, and I don't know how you can live life always fighting every day like that. Like like your entire life is a battle. Every interaction you have, even he says he goes to the store. It must be miserable to go to a restaurant with him or do anything with him because he's probably going to say you need to like I don't know how many times like it would be the ultimate nightmare for me to go hang out with the guy. But I told him I'm like you just need a big hug, bro. You want me to hug you? And like that kind of made him laugh. He's
yeah,
like,
that
oh,
sounds very beta
I know you're
cook.
gay, but so I'm just like I just not everyone's out to. Well, what also I was trying to get him to admit is that we need people. We're social beings, and
So a lot of us are. Um,
yeah, I mean,
I think
I
Paul
think
needs people in a different way.
Paul has the ultimate trust issue ever. So he always thinks someone has an angle, and he even thinks probably I have an angle, and I don't. I don't have a channel. I'm not offering any money. I go up and do bits. I try to make people laugh. You know, I'm lighthearted, but I do like a deep conversation here and there. But when you attack my character or my family's character, kind of for little to no reason, and you don't really know my family, I guess it just kind of set me off. I guess you could call me sparking right now, or spiraling.
Well, how are you right? So you all this was from last night, or did something happen this morning too? Or that's just the residue from last night?
Wait, what's today? It's 1:54. Yeah, it was. I didn't sleep last night. I did a lot of
Oh,
work.
okay. So it's all this morning
Yeah,
to
it's
you.
all it's all just kind of morning to me. So
Does
and
it like do you reset after a while if you have enough time? If enough time passes, does it kind of clear itself out, or is this going to stay with you?
at this moment, it's setting with me, and I was thinking I wanted to go on a rampage to to destroy him today on every
Oh,
panel. But
You don't need
that's
his validation.
then you be yeah,
I
but then
know.
you're gonna become him.
Yeah, I know. So there's just so many things I want to say to call him out on all of his bullshit that I want to like flip the table, but I guess that's not gonna help or it's not gonna help anything with me.
Well, say it here. I
So
mean, if it helps you to at least get it out, say it here.
Yeah, a problem shared is half repaired.
yeah, but I mean, Jeff had a good question there. It's like, am I the guy that's yeah? Give me like 6 hours and
Like you
so
say, you haven't slept yet at all.
no.
Because maybe sometimes just a night's sleep I can wake up and it's already off my brain.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I don't like to hold anger or resentment because I don't think it's good or healthy. So um, yeah, so I haven't slept. Shit, this is on the record. All these like panel trolls are gonna be following stuff, but who cares? I guess who cares? I guess who
What
cares?
was it about your dad? Like the relationship you had with your dad? That was the part that hit you the most.
Yeah, it was. It was the fact that
He
I
was
told him.
he was disparaging his dad.
Well, but that to me, that's an indication of just how important his dad is, and just how good the relationship is. That he's having that kind of reaction to defend his father and their relationship at all. Like the
Yeah,
fact that it's a button for you shows probably what an important, strong relationship it is.
yeah, I called my father this morning.
What after?
Yeah, and he was like, "You okay, son?" I'm like, "I love you, Dad." He was like, "You really okay? What the hell are you
Oh,
calling?" Like, well, I'm like, he's like, "Okay, man." Just same thing. He's like, "Just get some sleep, bro." I'm like,
oh,
Yeah,
I just,
don't
I
do
mean, that
like
was
I
it. Like,
did.
yeah, like my dad wasn't. He's he can be a man of few words, and I told him kind of what I said. I said, I think you're. I just want to let you know. I think you're an awesome dude. He's
oh.
like, kind of, he just kind of caught off guard because after that whole, I mean, yeah, I guess this whole thing has triggered my thing for the rest of the day. Is just because of one
Your dad
man.
knows something's wrong. He's not stupid.
Yeah. Anyways, I guess it's kind of silly looking back at it now, and probably a few hours of sleep or whatever. I won't even care what another
Yeah,
dude
but it
thinks.
meant something. Like I don't think our emotions lie, so it meant something that you're that it's something that's important to you.
Yeah, because I believe it. I believe what I said, and then got twisted. So
Hmm.
to a huge
That would piss
audience,
me off too.
someone saying, my father's a piece of shit, ergo I'm a piece of shit. Didn't raise a good man. Like, I mean, he went on to insult me, which I don't really care about. Call me an effeminate male, soft voice, loser, lost,
Oh my God, he's
lost all my businesses. What do you do? And I was
You
trying to do the
loser, failure.
well. One of
Well,
Paul and I have talked before, and one of his techniques is to try to break people down. Like he deliberately tries to break people down to their core.
but
well,
he does it to make himself feel better, in my opinion.
I don't know why he does it. I mean, I think maybe it's just because he wants to see the fallacy in everybody instead of
Kind of
seeing
like
the
the
good.
army, how they break you down so they can build you back up.
Yeah, but they don't break it in that way. They don't break your psychological basis.
Well, Paul does. He tries to.
Yes,
And a
because
lot of it's
he's
cold reading. Like, he doesn't know shit. He goes off of what he's picking up from a person in the moment. He's
speculation.
guessing.
Yep.
He's making a lot of guesses. So if he can tell something's upsetting someone or pushing a button, he's going to go harder on it because that's an indication that he's on some kind of track. But he's figuring out as he talks to the person. So I wouldn't assume that he has any special insight into you or your dad's relationship at all.
I would put zero stock in what Paul has to say.
I would too, but I do know that it's a tactic. It's a very deliberate tactic, and it does work on a lot of people. If they
I mean,
Is that narcissist?
if they don't
Is
know
that
what he's up to,
narcissist?
or if they're caught off guard by it.
well, I mean, I kind of knew what he's up to, but it was, and I, I didn't get like loud or mad or anything. You know, I think he even took a vote for his own audience, and I won
Oh, like who's?
by like 85% or a landslide on if they thought what I was saying or whatever, because I think more people resonate with who and what I am instead of someone being like a belligerent combatant.
Yeah, I
To
think so too. I don't even think it's a contest. I think most people can see you on a stream and watch Paul and draw their own conclusions easily.
yeah, but thank you for. I'm gonna. What's the other top? What are you guys talking about besides
It's
me?
just open panel. We can talk about whatever you want. And Axis is here. Um, hello, Axis. It's just kind of a hangout space today.
No, I was just listening in. Had some relative feelings about some shit. And I've got that nervous inability to be able to communicate at the moment that I'm trying.
How's your
Okay.
how's your son doing?
Life,
I know you've been worried about your son
life.
for a while. I didn't know about the outcome of it.
Yeah, last week we were in court all last week, and they convicted him on murder one. And then
Did he get found guilty?
yeah, and on top of it, throw salt in a wound. You know, my mother said it was because of his upbringing, and
Mm.
she dumped on me hard and disowned me.
You
Well,
think
I
that
don't
might
know
be a
how.
good thing?
I don't know.
what do you,
I don't feel good. I
what do you think?
I think I'm going through a bad time right now. I think I'm uncertain. My mom. I mean, what a time to fuck with me, you know.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
when they do it.
my son, he's too lost to even know that the full spectrum of what the fuck he's in, and I just everything just everything's just hit
Has
at once, and
has he always been in
really
trouble, Axel, your son?
in and out. Yeah,
Yeah, that's probably why
yeah.
she derived that opinion.
Yeah, well,
Well, he's go ahead.
Ax-
He's he's been he's been a real fucking handful for most of his life. When he was 22, he took 2 45 rounds to the gut, and I thought I lost him that time.
Oh, good
And it
Lord.
took a year of him getting in the hospital and surgery after surgery, and you never knew whether he was going to live or die from one day to the next for almost a year, and then less than 7 fucking years later, he turns around and whacks a fucker. You know, it's like, What the fuck, man? And
But
I'm not
that
responsible for that.
No.
no, you are not. You are not.
Are you
Don't
going to
don't.
have visitation?
He'll be in a maximum security, and he gets he gets sent out to Indianapolis um on the 4th of December, and then they do an evaluation hold to see which maximum security he goes in.
Mm.
Is he federal?
It's still state at the moment. He may have to pick up some federal charges because it was a gun involved, and
Mm.
I never dreamed, man. Never fucking dreamed in my life.
Yeah, no, that's probably not something you planned for.
It's fucking
You know,
hard. I'll give you that. It's hard.
Access, I'm sorry, man. I'm really sorry you're going through this, dude. And like I said, we had one little argument, but I made up for it. But I'm sorry you're going through this. I love my son more than the moon, like over the moon. Like I say, over the moon, and I know that you're hurting because you wanted to prevent this, but unfortunately, when our children become adults, we can't control what they do. We can't. I'm sure that you were a great father, and the blame is being put on the easiest target, which is you right now. But if you took care of him, you fed him, you clothed him, you did the best you could, that's all you can do. But the hardest part is when my son calls me and he has all these things on his life, and I can't help him because he's a grown man now. He makes his own decisions, and that's the hardest part about having kids, because they grow into adults, and when they become adults, they make their own decisions. So I'm sorry you're going through that, man. I mean, I'm from my heart, bro, from my heart. I'm sorry you're
Hey,
going through this. You to
Yeah,
to
I
me,
think I
to
think we
me,
all
to
are.
me, to me, you seem like a really good dad. To me, that's my opinion of you.
did the best I could. I really did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is going to be a long process, I think, Axis, and
Mhm.
Yes,
it's
it
it's
is.
just it's moment to moment right now.
Yeah. Access,
I
give yourself time to kind of understand what's going on, and and don't blame yourself. You can't blame your adult child for the decisions that he made.
And
You
stay
can't
away
do it.
from that awful mother if you can help it.
You know.
She's
She's
not
trying to hurt you.
awful. No, she's not awful. It's
Yes,
her
he is.
viewpoint. It's her
I've he's
viewpoint.
this is not the only stories he's told about her.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
kind of
I'm
aware of
sorry.
their pattern.
All right. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah. You're
yeah.
good. You're
Even
good.
my
But
case manager told me to stay away
access,
from him.
Well,
You
access.
hey,
You're
still
going
have
through.
your team that comes over.
well,
Um,
hey, access. I want to
half
say,
of the, I'm sorry. Yeah,
I'm sorry. I my phone or my iPad died like middle conversation earlier, but I was gonna say the same thing, or I will probably replicate what Mike said. Is in at this point in time, everyone's gonna try to shift the blame on somebody, and I know that I followed this a long time ago with you. I've been listening, so obviously you have care for your son. Like he said,
yeah.
he's he's a grown man. Like whatever happened, whether it's true or not, like it may not even be the total truth, but this this is the results and this is life. But there's no shifting blame. Like that's not really that's not good of her to do that, especially when you're already hurting.
Mhm.
You obviously
So it's
so
so it's very much like when a shark smells blood in the water, right? They
Hmm.
go after you when they feel pain. They go after you, and that's a
And she's
predator.
probably hurting too, so she's looking for something to lash out on herself.
So she's
yeah,
looking.
she
So
wants
Jeff, she's looking to
Oh yeah.
alleviate her pain. She's looking to alleviate her pain, ease her pain by hurting someone else, and that's a narcissist. That's what they do. they pass their pain off on other people. And Jeff, you know what I'm talking about.
Not
You know,
necessarily, Mike. It's people that just can't deal with the pain. It could be as simple as that.
well, they're passing it. They're passing it off on someone else. They're not going to deal with their own pain, their own struggle. So they want to pass it off. Oh, it's their person. That's their fault. No, deal with it, heal, and get better. I'm not saying you. I'm saying in the situation. But I think a lot of people, and on YouTube as well, people are so hurting. They're in a crappy situation. And what do they do? Do they check themselves and heal themselves? No. They attack
No,
other
they
people.
gang up with others to find other people to hurt.
That's it, Jeff. That's it.
This
And
This
then
this
you,
channel is about
there's a
and
lot
then
this
of
you
channel
get,
is
damaged
about,
people that get drawn to this medium.
and then
just
we
one
can
thing
do.
about this channel that
Hold
draws
on,
me
Rick.
to it.
I'm gonna break up the energy.
Stevie Wonder.
Is that a harmonica?
It's a
Yes,
giant
sir.
harmonica. Let me see.
All right, let me
Oh,
ask you
it's
a question. Did that come with like a straw hat and like a corn cob pipe? Like,
this
Wow,
one.
I don't think I've seen one that big.
Now
Yeah,
you're being
that's that's what
you
she
well,
said.
Jeff, I'm sure you've never said I see that one big before in your life.
Well, I won't. Okay, I won't
Anyways,
try to make any
well,
more
hey, well,
harmonica
I was
puns.
trying.
I have one somewhere.
I was trying to break up the energy. Yeah, rat blood. Sometimes it's hard for me to like. I can't. I don't even want to call you rat blood because it just sounds like it doesn't feel like good in the moment. Would you rather me call you
My name,
access? Or,
Axis,
Well,
that
well,
boy.
okay,
My name.
Pi, we have Christians, we have Satanists on the same panel, so it's a
uh,
very diverse panel.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
true.
I get that. But we're all human. Like we're all people, so we all like hurt and have empathy and
Closest.
can sympathize with people. You
Underneath the
know.
antlers, we're all humans. We're all people.
I don't know. I don't know if a Satanist is human. I do maybe like from some faraway world somewhere. I don't know. I don't know because there's
I've
people.
always thought I was an alien. I never
a
Yeah.
thought I was
Satanist is
completely
glutton
human.
for punishment.
Hmm. And a Christian is a warrior, but is as evil. A Christian is as evil as the worst Satanist. That's the thing. So people put Christians or Catholics on a platform where they're so high and mighty, right? And
I
trust me,
don't.
you're talking to a
No,
Christian. But then they say Satanists are so evil and so terrible. Trust me when I tell you, fellas, Christians have done more damage than anybody. So that's just what I'm saying. And we wear the idol, we wear the cross, but it's just like, what really is religion? What really is it? I mean, is
you're
it
getting off
real?
topic here.
Well, there's not really topics.
Oh, okay. I thought Axel was
No,
wanting to talk about his
Well, yeah,
situation.
we can
no.
get back to
I'm
Axel,
just
but I like to
no, no, no,
manage my
no.
panel.
I'm just here because Jeff is a comfortable place to be,
Yeah.
especially
I
Well,
agree.
Axis,
whenever
I
I.
agree. It's a
what I
calming
think
presence on Jeff's panel.
what I think
Yeah.
Axis needs, he needs support from his friends. And Axis, we're all your friends here. You come up, we're all your friends. And I'm sorry you're going through this. Even though we have different religion beliefs, even though we have different life beliefs, we're still your friends. And I think that's what Axis needs. He needs people to support him. He's going through a really tough time right now. And I'm sorry you're going through that, bro. I mean, I just want you to feel like there are people that do care about you, because we do
Yeah,
care about you. We do. We care about you.
yeah. I think
Well, if I thought I was in any type of emotional danger, I wouldn't be up here. That's why I come up here whenever I'm
Mhm.
yeah.
confronting.
I trust you. I know Axis can take care of himself.
Yeah. And
And
Mr.
How old are
Pie,
you,
Pi too.
Axel?
Same go. It sounds like there's a lot of people here today for rough things that have been happening. So same goes for you, Pi. Everyone
Axis,
else.
how old are you?
54.
Okay.
Wait, are you serious? We're the same age? I had no idea.
Yeah,
I thought you were
is it
yeah.
me,
older.
dude?
Damn, you
Is
young bucks.
is it me, or is Jeff not human? Because Jeff looks
I told you I
amazing
was alien, dude. Just
for someone to look like I'm 49. I look like shit.
I got
Like
alien DNA.
Jeff looks like
I'm
he's
only
30.
30. I'm 36, and look at me. I mean,
Sniffle.
Jeff
I'm an
doesn't
old.
Sniffle.
appreciate. Jeff,
I'm an
can you
old
grow a
goat.
beard? Jeff, if you don't shave, can you actually grow a beard? Is it possible?
I've tried. I don't grow. Hey, Moose. I no. I've tried to grow. I wish I grew a nice beard. I can't.
Yeah,
I hate.
yeah, yeah.
I cannot grow a
I
beard.
can't. I
It
can't grow a
gets it's
beard either.
scraggly and scruffly, and I end up shaving it off before it gets to any kind of
Yeah.
length where I could do something with.
I
And
can
it
go
itches like hell.
I
I
hate
can
my
grow a
beard.
sweet I can grow a sweet untrackable beard if I want to. I can just keep letting going. But Jeff, I don't. No, Jeff, you're hairless. You're not a human. I'm sorry, Jeff. I apologize.
I've grown a goatee before, but not a very
Mm.
big one. That's as
Yeah, it was
close as I can
long.
come.
You
Hey,
brought it
I
I
out.
don't want
can.
to. I don't.
I. I
I
can
don't want
see
to be.
Jeff with a snidely whiplash mustache.
Oh, come on.
Hey,
No.
I don't want to be the elephant in the room, but my beard's pretty much amazing. I'm sorry, guys.
It is.
I'm
Here,
just,
let's
You're
get a look
amazing,
at.
no matter
Let's get a
what you
look at.
do,
Give us
Mr.
the
Pie.
profile, everything. Do
I
you
know, but
I
do
Mr.
you
know.
Pie,
groom it a
Mr.
certain
Pie.
way? I like
Okay,
the
is it me? Is it
silver,
me?
the patch.
Is it me,
It's
or
just
do me
there.
and Mr. Pie look like twins? Do
Give
we
us
look
a
like
It's
twins?
you.
ooh.
Mr. Pie?
It's definitely you.
Give us an ooh, Mr. Pie.
Mr. Pie, are we
All right,
related?
so
That sounds like a moose.
it's been a while.
Give us some grooming tips. Do you do anything to it? Is that all natural?
All right, hold on.
Ooh.
I'm about to tell you all a little story about my beard. It's
Oh,
salt and pepper everywhere.
Oh my God, Jeff,
I
do you
love
see when I
Mr.
come up?
Pie.
Tip,
Jeff, when I come up,
tip
the energy
Jimmy Jack.
changes when I come up. It's awesome. I love it. I love
yeah,
it.
it definitely does. I will grant you
Yeah,
that.
love
It's,
it. So, Mr. Pie, let me
it
ask
do
you a question.
change.
And it seems like you have, like, you're well off, and you have nice hair, and you have a nice sweet beard, which I think is fake. I think it's like glued on hair.
Like a
But
GI
no,
Joe
Mike,
beard.
that sounds a
yeah.
little gay, Mike.
I got it
But
from my mom.
what I'm
Love
asking
her
you
beard.
this is that so if you wear no, Mr. Pie, if you wear a coat, have a T-shirt under it, please. We don't want to see
Oh,
your
No,
chest.
we do
please.
chesties here. That's
No,
perfectly
I was in the
appropriate.
middle of a strip contest earlier.
Chris and I
Well,
used to do
I'm
chesties.
always ready. I'm always ready for a
Yeah,
chest.
Whoa.
Pie is Plo
Show
used to
that
pimp
again.
Pie and I out for his channel.
I stay ready, gentlemen.
We do have
That's
super chats, cash apps, memberships.
what
I
is
have a
that?
T.
Is that
I
a
have a
he just put
tiara
a crown on?
and a scepter.
Yeah. He had a
So
cape
are
on
you
last night too.
so Mr. Pie, are you the queen of
I
this
was
channel?
Queen
Are you the queen
Stephen.
of this channel?
Queen
You
Steve.
guys see
can
that? I was Queen Stephen.
I ask a question?
Wait, go
Yes.
ahead, Axel.
I just got a real time text from my son, and it says, and tell me what this is. The trial's over. He's done being convicted. Okay. Well, I guess they found your podcast and it's being used against me. I quote,
Mhm.
a worthless junkie and a menace to society. Your father admits this on his podcast.
Mm.
Your son sent
Now,
this to you?
he's laying blame on you. He's trying to blame
Yeah.
you for what he did.
Yeah.
So Chuck,
And I
Chuck,
said, my
Chuck,
channel
Chuck,
is for entertainment purposes only.
Can
How
you
can
it's
it be
okay.
repeat
That's
used
that?
okay.
against you?
I
Trial's
Well,
didn't
over.
hear that.
yeah, I like if the trial's over and the sentencing is complete, I don't know what else it could be used for. And to me, if it was used in the trial, it would have come out.
I think
So I
I
think
think
it
one of the
sounds
things
like he's just trying to
Oh,
lash out or something.
Yep.
I
Yep.
yeah, he's trying. So what? So basically, Axis, what it is, I'll go into. Me and Jeff will. He's going into projection mode. He's projecting what he did on you, like it's your fault, and it's not your fault. You raised a young man. He became a man, and now he's has to be a man. And now the mistakes he makes in life, he's trying to push it back on you and his
On the
mother.
parent. The
And
parents are going to be the
Yeah. My
targets for
my
what their
brother
kids
tried
do.
that when he got sentenced to prison for murder. He tried to lay it off on my dad.
yeah, that's it. And in life, when you Now, let me give you a great analogy. So my oldest son is 24. My son came to visit me, and my son is bigger. I'm a big guy. My son is bigger than me. Okay, and he hugged me, and he put his head on my shoulder, and it was the most touching thing. It's someone. It's your child telling you, "I love you. I love you." Like you've like it's just that simple act of just
Well,
going
that's
like
not.
that.
Like when a cat comes up and rubs against you.
That's it. But
Yeah,
I mean,
but hey, Mike, I don't know how this is really helping rap blood because he's
but
not gonna be
other
able to do
people.
that.
Yeah,
Let
I
me
agree, Mr. Pies.
other children will not accept the submission and their love to their parents. They'll rebel. It's rebellion, is what I'm trying to explain.
I think this is a volatile situation for everybody involved. It's very fresh. It just
Yeah.
happened, so I think you can expect a lot of
It's raw.
raw
Yep, it's
emotion and
raw.
attacks over the next few days, weeks.
Yeah.
And I think it's people lashing out. There's people feel a lot of emotion about this. In
But you have to
fact,
understand
you
once
seem to be like doing the best, at least
all
as
fucked up.
from an emotional maturity standpoint.
And there's no way your podcast put him in prison. He put himself in prison.
Yeah, you just sent a follow up. You're my dad, one of the closest people to me. Till all is to be read in courtroom in 2 weeks when they pass sentencing on me. So it's whatever.
I thought that already happened.
He
Yeah.
hadn't been
Well,
sentenced
he's got to
yet.
go through the. Yeah, he's already got the verdict against him. The amount of time he's going to they're going to give him. It's already been laid out, and he's just got to go in to be sentenced and shipped off for processing, then sent to a maximum security.
How much time's he looking at?
it's life. It's
85
life.
years.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
How
life.
much?
85 years. 85 years.
85, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So when
I'm
someone
not living
Life.
says
like that
Might,
long.
might as well say life, yeah.
it's life, it's life.
Yeah,
So when someone says it's whatever is a diversion into like you weren't there for me in this particular circumstance, but you were there for him his whole juvenile life, but you can't be there for your child their whole adult life. You can help them monetarily, but you can't influence their decisions when they become adults. And I think it's projection. He's blaming you for his own bad decisions. And
But
I'm not
Axis, the sentencing in 2 weeks, that should just be a formality, right? They're not going to take a lot of time reading a bunch
no,
of.
no,
That's
no.
just him trying to throw that in there.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And they can try to continue it and try to keep doing all these different things, but the bottom line is what's going to happen is going to happen. People have to face the music, unfortunately. But I can't act as I can't see you being a bad dad. You sound like you're a good dad. I mean, I'm just saying, seem like you're very responsive to things, but people make mistakes and they have to face them. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not judging anybody.
Yeah, I was a wild child myself. It wasn't because of anything my parents did or did not do. That was all on me. It's who I was.
That's it. You
Yeah, I never
I
got
had
in any.
what
I was the golden child. I never got in
Oh,
trouble.
did you have siblings?
I have a sister that's younger than me,
Oh,
but we were both like, I don't know, we were just like little angel childs. I don't know why. I didn't even drink till I turned 21.
yeah. No, you
I
don't. You
wish I,
don't seem like a bad,
Mm.
I wish
naturally bad
I
person.
wish I wish I would have never started drinking. That's if like they say, if you could tell yourself, your 18-year-old self, one thing, what would you tell yourself? For me, it would be don't ever drink, and I think my
Mm.
life would be on a different trajectory. But we can't regret. We can always change it. Now we
Do
can
you
always.
struggle with it?
I have the last couple of years, really, to be honest. It's an interesting dynamic,
So pie
because I know
pie what
because I know not I
Wait,
know
hang
it's
on. Let
not
me.
good. Yeah, in my rational brain and my clarity, like in all my clarity, I'm like, Jeff, you know, everything that you do when you're sober is like that much better. But for some reason, there's these. I don't know if it's like I don't know if it's like deep trauma that makes me just want to like have a drink or get a buzz, and it's fascinating to me to understand that I know that I like to willingly poison yourself. You have to be a little bit crazy, right? Like when you know it's not good for you and you do it anyways. And I
Because there's a
wonder what that.
payoff. You get something out of it that makes it worth it.
Yeah, and the payoff doesn't ever seem to be worth it, but yet I do it again. You know what I'm saying? So
Because in the moment it seems like you
yes,
rationalize that it's
like
worth it.
so I can't really reconcile. Um, I don't know if it's escapism, but I don't really know what. If we're always just trying to escape from life, or if you're not happy with yourself or your life, maybe you want to do that. Um,
Is that the case?
I think, to be honest, for myself, yeah, I think that I've been feeling that I lack um, the vigor, meaning, and purpose that I once had, probably. So it's like a little easier to cope with, you know, uh, like societal pressures, who and what I'm supposed to be, yada yada yada. And I know better because it shouldn't matter if I have true faith and um. But I think
What do you
everyone,
want to be?
I think self doubt is like the dream killer. And I made a video about this like 4 years ago, and another one about I don't even know. I don't think it's on my channel anymore, but it's kind of like an introspective view of everyone. It's like when you watch those movies and you see like the person that's just like they're the hero that you want to like keep seeing them overcome the obstacle in life, and you're just rooting for them, and then they just go back and do the same shit, and you're like, no, don't do it. I mean, that's kind of how I feel in my own life right now. Instead of being the guy that's like, oh, he transcended the whole, he figured it out. And I don't really know what the solution is for it. I'm just being open and honest because I'm not really, I don't even understand my own mind when it comes to that. So if
Yeah.
you guys have any advice or something else
Sure.
about
Sure.
overcoming addiction, that would be helpful.
Yeah.
Not that I'm like a
I
problematic guy that can't get shit done, but I do feel like it's not helpful.
I
So
do
I
have some
see.
thoughts, but Chuck is the person I would turn it over to for this particular situation. Chuck, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I do, but I'm in the middle of Walmart. Let me get out of Walmart first.
Are there is there some people of Walmart that we could see? If you see any cool people of Walmart, show up to us.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
Tommy.
Yeah, I just don't want to start preaching in the middle of
Yeah,
Walmart
no,
and
I
get locked
understand.
up.
But Chuck is definitely a good person to talk to about this.
If
He's
you
the
want me to
person I
Yeah,
would go
go,
to if I had these
addiction is
questions.
terrible. Trust me.
As far as the purpose and meaning in your life, you can decide that for your, like you don't have to internalize all the societal stuff. You could, if there's a way
let
to
me
not internalize that and just ignore that and just determine what you want to for yourself. What do you want to be? What's your vision for yourself? And
let me
it
say
doesn't
one.
have to be a thing you figure out. It can just be something you decide and then enact. And you can experiment with it too. It doesn't have to be some final answer all at once.
Let me say one thing. You know, the hardest thing in life is to change, right? You get stuck in your ways, and addiction is real, whether it's drugs, alcohol, smoking, women, gambling. Addiction is
YouTube.
real. Yeah, but you get stuck in that rut to where it's uncomfortable to leave. It's more comfortable to stay. So, Mr. Pie, I can tell you this. I lost the love of my life a while back. This is a long time ago. This is like over 10 years ago. And I took to the bottle to self-medicate. And it really messed my life up. And luckily for me, I was able to pull myself out of it. It was
What?
only like
How did
6
you do that? What was it? What were you able, how were you able to turn that around?
through God, through church, through a pastor grabbing me and saying, "I'm not going to let you anymore."
Did you
For
have an existing church, or you sought out
Yeah,
some?
I
So
had an
it was you.
existing.
There was an existing community that you were part of.
I mean, I went from making 6 figures to making, half of that, and then less than that. And then he's like, "You're throwing your life away. You're crapping on your kids." And the biggest turning point is when my son said to me, he said, "Dad, you have a problem." And we're talking, my son was like 9, 10 years old. My son's 24 now. And I remember saying, I do. I never went to any kind of rehab, anything like that. I just literally said, I'm not going to do this anymore. And it took about 2 weeks to get it all out of your system, but I did. But it's that will to get yourself better. And you feel so much better, so much more positive. People like you. Like, it's just different. And I can tell you, man, what you're going through, Mr. Pie, is not abnormal. It's normal. People go through this every single day. Millions of people go through this. You're not
Well,
alone. You're not
okay,
a
so
loser.
Oh
You're not a
yeah.
bad person. You're a good
Hey,
person.
Tommy.
You're just
Sort
in a
of.
so
rut.
How you doing?
You're just in a rut right now, and you
yeah,
have to figure out a way to pull yourself out of that rut, out of that hole. We call it a hole. You pull yourself
yeah.
out of that hole, man.
Well,
Dude,
so here,
you're still young.
I've
You're
been
still a
in that
good
hole
looking guy.
before. I know exactly what Mr. Pie is
Oh, well, talk to us. And
experiencing.
what helped you?
Well, I've had a history with drugs, and I'm in recovery now, and you know, uh, a lot of different things. I feel like God helped me in a lot of ways. I had a lot of support from friends and family, but you got to make a decision, and be
yeah, I
willing to
mean,
do whatever it takes to live differently.
yeah. Well, I mean, here's the conundrum: is that I've I've felt like Mike has before, and I've been sober. I chose to be sober for 2 years, and like I said, I know what it's like to be sober and how nice it is and how good I feel. The quandary I'm having is why I, even knowing that, even knowing that, even knowing how good life is when I don't do it, why I still want to. Like, that's the conundrum for me. Is
Mhm.
I I that's the main like that's what breaks my brain is.
You feel like if you could figure out why, then you
Yeah,
could
well, I mean, I just
start to.
if I know that this is good for me, like I take my vitamin, I'm very healthy in a million other ways. There's just I got like this one vice, which is alcohol, and it seems
You
to
got no, you
always
got
be
more
like
than one.
knocking
You
at my
got
door.
more than one vice, son.
Well, we don't. Well, the mushrooms aren't a vice. Just don't go there, Chuck.
Yeah, I think the alcohol is more of an
Sober
everyday.
is sober.
Well, the
Sorry.
psychedelics is an individual
Yeah,
Well,
decision.
let me
For
Yeah.
ask
some
you this,
people, it could be a path, a
Well, so
Mr.
legitimate
Pie.
path.
I could not do mushrooms again for like a year, and I'd be fine. It's the alcohol is the issue. Like I
Yeah.
could,
So, Mr.
you could.
Mr. Pie, do you think that,
I hadn't done mushrooms in like 2 or 3 months, and so that's probably why I've been on the panels lately.
Mhm.
Oh,
But
that's oh my
do you
God! I can't
think,
imagine being
Mhm.
high on
Yeah,
these panels like that.
I'm just showing my
but
mushroom tips all over the place.
yeah,
Do you think moving back is gonna help things or change your motivation for that or in any kind of way?
I think so, just
it
because.
depends on your mindset, I think.
yeah, yeah. If your
People try
mind
to
is
change
broken,
geography all the time, and
What, let me hear. Let me hear what he has to say.
yeah, my bad.
Yeah, so I mean, I know here, like, I've been living on this farm for 4.5 years, and my little gas station's my trigger. They got the little fireball shots are only $1. I've been pretty broke, so it's easy for me to get a
Oh,
few shots and then get a little 6-pack. And I just chill in my house. I'm like, I don't go out. I don't do shit really. I just hang out with my neighbors. All my neighbors are my homies. You know, I kind of have a cool little thing going on here, except for that they sold it, and I
Do
can't
you
live
ever
here,
get
and I
sick
can't
when you
live
don't
here
drink?
anymore. But I was growing for like 3.5 years. But I mean, I'm kind of honestly very excited about going home to be just around my family, because when I do home, like every time I do go home for Christmas, I think, why the fuck am I not around my family more? They're pretty badass. Like I genuinely feel that. Like I feel at home. Um, and so this may be like a cliche statement or whatever, but I think that I tried so hard to make this thing work out here, and I persevered, and I think at some point the universe or God, whatever the fuck you want to call it, just kind of makes you surrender. And so I think surrendering is like, like the Bruce Lee thing, just like be like water. I was going against the current for so long,
Hmm.
and I think, I mean, letting go and having some closure is like actually, it's given me some solace. It's actually made me feel like pretty awesome, and I'm anxious, nervous, excited, scared. I have trepidation. Like there's all these feelings that I have about doing it, but I think, what's there to be scared of? I'm going home to my family, my mom and my dad and my sister that I'm really close to, and
I
maybe,
think that's good for you.
yeah, like maybe
When's your
it's divine
timeline?
time.
Like, when are you going?
Be around
Like,
family.
like December, like the first week of December. So
Oh, okay.
pretty soon. Yeah, like pretty soon. I've got to build like 10 greenhouses for this new guy that. The crazy part is the new guy that bought the place. Like we become besties, if that's a term. But like I, I met his kids and his wife, and he's gonna keep my dog from me because that was stressing me out. Like that was the main thing. Is my dog is like my main, but she can't. She like guards. She's a Great Pyrenees. She like guards 20 acres. That's her job. That's just what she does.
What
And
kind of dog is it?
it's a Great Pyrenees, but so like
Oh,
she just
cool.
she couldn't be in a yard. Like there's just nowhere for her to be in Texas. So I was kind of freaking out because I didn't know what to do with her, and I got 3 cats that I adopted to help kill all the mice and the rats and shit. But I'm gonna take one home from my niece for Christmas. That's gonna be her present. But the other
Oh,
two,
that's awesome. What a great
but
Christmas present.
but yeah, but my friends, he's gonna, or the guy that the new owner, he's letting me chill here. He's like, hey, can you build 10 greenhouses for me? So I got some awesome pictures I've been building. It's been raining.
He gave you some work then too, I guess.
Yeah, he gave
That's
me
good.
basically he said that I can store all my shit here because I'm just gonna go home like on a road trip with everything I can pack in my
That's
car.
good, man. It's good that
And then
he's
he's like,
helping you.
yeah, dude, it's a godsend,
Yeah, God,
if you want to call it
God
that.
puts things in your life for a reason.
I know you don't like to do the God thing here, Gen X Jeff.
Well,
There's some
We
people
do
in
the
life
God
that,
thing here.
I
Absolutely,
do
we do the
okay,
God
personally.
thing.
Yeah, it's a
okay,
personal
yeah,
thing for people.
yeah. I mean, it's just there's like so many synchronicities in life. Like sometimes I think it's like at some point it's not a
You can
synchronicity,
attribute it
like,
to anything, fate,
yeah. So
whatever you
like
want to
I
call it.
like there could have been anyone else that bought this place, and he's helping me make money in all these different ways. He's like, dude, we're gonna be bros. I'm gonna help you do this and this. Give me your connects. But it's just I can't even really explain it. So maybe it was all meant to be. And so and to top it off, the cherry is to go home to be next to my parents, and I know my mom's gonna watch me kind of like a hawk, which it's gonna feel
Yeah,
kind of
get ready
weird.
for
But
that.
so so
I
it
had that too, bro.
it'll make me. I think it'll make me not want to be such a sneaky alcoholic and go into the garage to sneak a beer because my mom knows. And I
She
don't want
sounds
to do
like
that.
she's a good support for you because she
Yeah, but I
knows
mean,
you very
I
well.
it's not. I mean, it's not that bad for me. I guess I don't want to
Nah, you
like.
sound like you got a loving family,
Is your
bro.
dad there too?
Yeah, my pops is. They're not together, but my dad's like 30 minutes. Like everyone's
Okay.
in Texas. My entire family's in Texas. So all my aunts, all my uncles, my cousins, everyone I'm close to. So like I'm the only black sheep that came out here to California to be a weed grower. They
It's
all
good
think
to
I'm
go
fucking. They
home
all
for
think
the
I'm fucking.
holidays.
They all think I'm
Yep.
nuts, but whatever. I'll be back.
And,
But
and giving your
uh,
niece a dog is like one of the best gifts you can give a kid. Like a dog is like a great gift. Like,
well, I'm giving her a kitty, but yeah, the dog's
oh,
gonna
a
stay
kitty.
there.
My
But
bad.
but
I thought it was a dog.
yeah, but
She might like that better.
Either
yeah.
way, it's a nice. It's a pet. It's a good gift.
Well, so I mean, I think everything in life is like Rat Blood's going through his stuff. Like Chuck, I know he's had his struggles with his family, and I don't know much about you, Mike. I've heard you on Talcott's a couple times, and you got shut up or something.
I'm dead.
And I don't know
It's
you
like, yeah,
toxic,
I go.
Tommy.
Yeah, I go to Talcott just to troll them. That's all I do.
Oh.
But yeah,
Nice to
yeah.
meet you, Mr. Pie.
Yeah. So yeah, I appreciate all the or just the listening, I guess.
No, I
From
appreciate you
everybody.
sharing your part of your story.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
love to listen. We love to help solve problems. So thank you.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys.
I got a lot of similarities with your story, and
Now,
my story.
if I can, this is what I'm dealing with. Because I told him, I'm tired of them slinging blame at me. And I told him, what, is that from my mother? He says, no. I got my PSI for the probation department today, and it has my point scale and recommended sentencing and everything. They must have done the research. I didn't blame you or sling a damn thing your way. I'm tired of you disrespecting me all the time. I tried to be cordial with you and level-headed as you again and again want to disrespect me and shit because I can't do anything about it right at this time in the game. What the fuck is that?
That's what he's saying.
What
That's
the
coming from him.
goddamn hell? Yes, just now, real time.
Yeah, I have no
Bitch, you've
idea.
been put up on Murder 1. Murder 1, you dumb fucker. And you're talking
Whoa,
about respect? That's what got you in there, you punk bitch.
what's going on?
Yeah, Axis,
Dude,
that's the reaction you're having right now sounds like the most normal, sane reaction so far. That's absolutely what I would be thinking in that situation too. Exactly. It
You put
just I don't
7
know. Let
fucking
him
rounds in a
type and
motherfucker's head. 7 fucking rounds from behind in a motherfucker's head that was sitting
I
there
think I'm.
innocently doing not a goddamn thing to anybody. And he wants to talk about respect when he gets
yeah,
to
because he doesn't
Supermax.
want to talk
Ain't
about
nobody
what
gonna
he did
respect him.
or take responsibility or accountability. He's displacing it all
They're
onto
gonna
you.
bend him over. They're gonna rape the fuck out of
Hey,
him for
hey,
being a
Axis,
punk
Whoa,
bitch.
Axis. I
whoa.
gotta keep my
I'm
channel.
sorry.
It's not gonna
Yeah,
be
I
here
know. I'm
for.
sorry.
Who's going to jail? Is someone going to jail?
The people, the
Oh
people, the
fuck.
people that you hurt,
Sorry.
the
I'll mute
people
up.
that you hurt the
No, that's
most, are the
okay.
people you love.
This looks healthy to me. Just I gotta be careful of
Yeah.
YouTube.
Not to me, but the people that you love the most, the people that you hurt the most. Like you lash out at the people that you love the most. There's no doubt his son doesn't. His son loves him, and he's lashing out at him because of his son's own actions. His son made mistakes, and he's trying to push the blame on his dad or his mom or someone else.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Instead of he's not at the accountability phase. But again, it's all fresh. Like these things take time to
Yeah,
work out.
I'd say,
take
I'd
time.
probably say like a month or two. It's going to take him to compartmentalize, what's
Well,
exactly
well,
happening.
well let's if he did what he's charged with, maybe it'll be a lifetime. Like maybe he's just never going to be mentally stable.
Yeah,
Because
we
not
don't
a
know.
lot of
That's his
people.
story.
Yeah, like not a lot of people could put
You know,
rounds
people
in some.
people do K word people, and I'm always careful with just people do K word people out of like self defense or to help
Or
somebody
aggression.
else.
Or
Yeah,
aggression, or
but if
crime of
people do it,
passion, or a
but
lot of
if people
reasons.
K word people, you're right, Tommy. But if people K word people with criminal intent, they're going to have to face the charges. That's it. It's criminal intent. But
Well,
if you're
Mike,
if you're
even if there's not criminal intent, these people go to jail. They have to be held accountable. Like even involuntary manslaughter, like you didn't mean to do it,
yeah,
but
yeah,
if
it
there's a
happens.
life that's taken, a lot of times somebody's got to be held accountable.
That's it. That's it.
It's just what they
You're right.
want. Depending on the sentence is what'll happen. If it's
What
criminal intent or not.
life to me is crazy because there's people that K word cops that get 10 years or 15
That's
years. Like
ridiculous.
to get life is life is
10
insane because you can't.
years?
I mean, I'm saying like 15 years in prison.
Yeah.
That's a long time. I mean, that's a sentence that 15, 20 years.
Oh
But
my
to give somebody life, you've basically K worded them in a cage.
Well,
They're
there's
never getting.
circumstances to these cases. Sometimes cops
Yeah.
are aggressors and then somebody is,
And
If
Tommy, I
someone
still
gave
want to hear
me
your story too that you were going to
Yeah,
tell.
but if someone gave me 85, if someone gave me 85 years, I'd rather them put me to sleep forever, if you know what I mean. Because
Sorry, guys.
there's no reason to stay.
yeah.
I'm just fascinated by people's lives. That's all.
Sorry. I gotta turn off this
Yeah.
generator. It's gonna be loud for 1 second.
Is there a banjo in there?
All right, let me
What's
fix
that?
the. My bad.
Are you working?
That go off.
Uh,
Yeah,
I don't
Abe,
know what.
I had my eye on it too. I wasn't sure if it was a sock or not, but it didn't say anything that crossed any kind of line, so I just let them keep talking. If they start doing a personal attack or something like that or creating drama, then feel free to time them out. But so far they seem to be contributing constructively.
constructively. God, it's so cold and rainy today.
Oh, you're back
Yo,
I
already,
can't.
monsoon? It's cold and rainy where you are?
Yeah,
Here,
crappy
we're getting another one of
Friday.
those that atmospheric
Yeah.
river is about to hit us again.
it's been raining here in Virginia, and it's been like 40 something degrees. It's
Yeah,
like
it's
cold
cold.
and rainy, like for two
Crappy
days
out.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's real
I,
crappy out.
I personally think Tommy controls the weather. I think he's some
Yeah.
kind of no. I
My
think
weather
Tommy's
machine.
some like sick wizard. He like shoots like things up into the air. And he's like, I'm gonna make it rain.
I got my weather machine.
That's it.
I'm cloud
Tom,
seeding.
Tommy the wizard, toxic Tommy the wizard. From now on, you have like the big hat with the top.
Remember Mr. Wizard, Mike, and growing up,
Yeah,
Mr.
We were
Wizard?
talking about him yesterday.
Yeah. What happened to Mr. Wizard? His show went off the air, and then I never heard from him
Hmm,
again. That was a
I don't
cool
know.
show.
But cloud seeding is real. You try to put down on that. That's real, dude. They do it in
No, I heard
Dubai.
it's real. I heard it's
They
real. I was
put
just
the
kidding around.
aluminum, like the metal, in the air that makes it freaking rain. It makes it rain. I'm like, what? How could you make something rain? I guess they had the chemicals to
It's
do it.
just water falling from the air.
I know, but it's weird how
No,
they
no,
make
but
it happen. Like
they
it
seed the
is
clouds.
interesting.
They make it rain.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's wild to me.
it's
It's like they make
it's
it.
real.
I don't know what it is, how it works, how that works.
Not conspiracy theory. I mean, it's been proven to be real. They put these chemicals and this aluminum and stuff like that. I can't remember what the exact term is. If you look up cloud seeding, Jeff, there's something
Yeah,
they
they've been
put.
doing that ever since I was a kid. I knew about
Yeah,
cloud seeding.
but they did it in Dubai. They did it in Dubai, and they put too much. Apparently, allegedly, put too much, and Dubai got flooded. The streets of Dubai were flooded in the middle of the desert. How the
Well,
hell
they
can
should
that
not have
happen?
put so much. That
That's
was
it.
dumb.
I think Jeff's puts cloud seeding on his dinner at night. You put a little cloud seeding on there, it gets bigger, he just eats it up. No, it's all good. But yeah, man, that stuff. But the weather weapons, they're getting more and more information on. We can manipulate the weather, the jet stream, the airflow in the atmosphere. So like they can manipulate the weather, and I'm wondering if that does uh, come into fact with earthquakes and stuff like that. Like I said, these are just theories. These are just theories. These are not proven to be true.
Yeah, well, we
But
we we talked about theories yesterday. We talked about them a lot, and probable versus
yeah,
possible
it's
theories,
interesting. But you have to admit,
and
it's
which ones
interesting.
to entertain and which ones
Yeah,
we could kind of toss aside.
yeah, that's it.
I
That's
know
all
it's
it
fun to
is.
think about for a lot of people, but
Well, it's neat.
makes
It's
my
neat
head
to
hurt.
entertain these magical things that could possibly happen. You know. So go ahead. I'll stop. Do I
Jeff, did
take
you
the
like?
air?
Go
Go ahead.
ahead. Mike. No, go ahead.
I
No,
think
go
I, I
ahead.
think I take I think I take the air out of the room. That's what happens with me.
Take the air.
Well,
you
Tommy was
suck.
about to put some back in. What were you gonna
You
say?
suck. No, I was asking if you, when you were growing, when you were younger, did you listen to Alice in Chains when Lane Staley was with the
That would
band?
not be younger in my generation. I think I was in college when that
Oh,
band came out. I remember
college.
them. I wasn't really into grunge.
No, you weren't in college. Are you older than me or
Mm.
younger? I'm 44.
I'm about 10 years older than you.
Yeah, so you weren't in college. Yeah, Alice in Chains came out like 90s, early 90s.
Yeah,
I
I
was in
was in
high school.
I was in college. I left high school in
Oh,
'87.
wow, you were in college. Okay. Yeah,
You
I
know,
Yeah,
love
you know what?
grunge was the college music.
I miss
What
grunge
took
era. I really do,
what
man.
what
Because
took
I
me
was listening
away?
to the hardcore, the the noise rock, the post punk, post hardcore,
Yeah.
all that stuff before it became alternative rock, and then grunge was like what alternative rock, one of the strands of alternative rock that it was turning
Oh,
into. So
I
by that
love
time, I had
grunge.
all this other music built up that was much more. I was much more into than grunge.
And like Lane Staley and like Kurt Cobain, like they all them bands were like heroin addicts. Like it was
Yeah, they
heroin.
were not the stuff I was listening to was artistic. It was
Yeah.
it was very ironic. Um, it was artistic. It was a bunch of suburban white
Yup.
kids and urban white kids. And Kurt
Yup.
Cobain was like an actual junkie that was actually depressed, that actually had
Yes.
problems, and he was putting it onto his music. And it was less interesting to me than the people that were just doing it as an artistic motif.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys this. This is the turning point in my music direction. Like I
I
was
love
always
them.
R&B,
Donna
rap, old
Summer.
school R&B. How Donna Summer?
Go
You
How
ahead.
said R
great
and B. You said R and B, Mike. You like R and B?
R&B, old
Okay.
school rap. How great
So you
was
didn't like
Green Day?
rock? You didn't like rock
Wait,
music?
I want to hear his turning point. That's going to tell me a lot.
Yeah.
How great was Green Day's first album, Dookie?
Oh, I
Green Day.
loved it, Mike. One of my favorites,
That
man.
was yeah. Leggy and I reviewed what's the one after it? Insomniac.
Insomniac, yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, Dookie. Like
They
that,
reminded
that,
me of
that
Husker Du and the power
yeah.
pop they developed in the mid to late '80s.
They're
I
still
think
touring.
I just think Green Day is one of the best bands of my lifetime. Like
All those
It's
bands, yeah,
power
their
punk and
music
Brit punk.
evolved a lot.
I've seen them in concert. And then I went to the Boathouse in Norfolk and I saw Rancid and Undisturbed.
Oh, Rancid. That must have been a
Yeah,
good show. They're awesome.
dude, it was
I
fucking
like
crazy.
Rancid.
People in there punching each other. I was
Oh
like,
yeah, I'm
yeah.
sure it's wild music. It's
I'm
punk
like
rock. Yeah,
20 years old. People were like beating each other up in the mosh pit, like punching each other. I'm like, this is crazy, man.
I love
Like, this
going
is
to a good
wild.
concert. It's like the
Yeah,
best, bro.
it was called the Boathouse. It was a little small club right by the Tide Stadium by
Oh,
the
that was probably
water.
good to see them in a small
Oh,
place
dude, it was
instead of like a big
wild.
arena.
But they beat the mosh pit. I've never been to a mosh pit before, right? I'm a prep, right? I'm like a preppy guy wearing khakis and fucking Timberlands and a button-up shirt.
Yeah, I get it.
There's people punching and spit on each other. Like,
I
I'm
know.
like,
Didn't wasn't there an incident at one of the Lollapaloozas?
Yeah. Well,
Where
yeah,
the
no,
sec-
Woodstock '99 was a train wreck. Number one,
yeah.
people
And
died
every,
there and got
the
killed.
security guard like punched out the bassist or something. He thought he was
Yes.
a fan, and he knocked
Yep.
his
yeah.
teeth out.
And then in Woodstock, a lot of them use the Hell's Angels for security. I don't know if you guys know that. And I
Well, I
guess
know they did at Altamont in the
yeah,
1969 at that Rolling Stones concert, and
The
yeah,
that was
1999
pretty much the
Woodstock
end
was
of that.
horrible. They
yeah,
used peace patrol. They had no control over anything, and there was a riot and fires, and somebody
yeah.
died, and it
I,
was a train wreck, bro.
I was at a club. I
That's
was
the
at a
rock
club.
lifestyle, rock
We
Yep.
were at a
punk.
club, and it was a charity event. And then there was Hell's Angels there. It was like it's a charity event. So I don't know them, but they came up, and I'm like, these dudes are fucking intense. Like these are intense people. I'm just like, hi, nice to meet you, because they were there to like donate and do charity and stuff like. Because people don't understand, Hell's Angels do charity work. They do a lot of
They have
charity.
a little biker bar like a block from my house that just opened up,
Yeah,
and they have all the Hell's Angels people with their motorcycles constantly
yeah.
driving around the neighborhood. I hear them.
Super cool people. Like I said, I don't know anything about what they do, but all I know is that they do a lot of charity, and people that do a lot of charity, I can't dispute, what they do. Whatever they do on the other side is up to them.
Well,
But
I don't know if it.
yeah,
I don't know if one
but
justifies the other though. I
I
I
don't
know that
know.
the gay leather scene started out of the motorcycle
Oh
culture
man.
after
So
World War
Jeff, have you
II.
The
ever
gay
have you
leather
ever worn?
scene.
I don't want
I'm
to ask this.
dead.
I don't want
Like
to
a
ask this question. I don't want to ask it.
YMCA.
I
Yeah,
don't want
like
to
the
ask this.
YMCA.
Like the village people I met or whatever.
Jeff, have you ever worn A-list chaps and just like this with a lasso
I
in the
hated
club?
chaps. I never saw the purpose of chaps. I hated chaps. I don't like them on other people. I don't like them on myself.
Remember the scene from The Sopranos? Remember, Tommy, when Vito was in the club and he's dancing with the guy in the leather outfit?
Oh, you got caught. Yeah, that was
Yeah, he
funny.
got caught.
That
He's
was
like
funny.
he's kissing the dude. What? It's a
He's like,
joke.
"What? It's
It's
a
a joke.
joke. It's a
Yeah, yeah.
joke. It's a joke." I'm
Then
dead.
he had to go to New Hampshire. Remember Johnny Cakes
Yeah, he
when he
went to
met
get
the
some
other
Johnny cakes.
Johnny Cakes. So Jeff, even made mobster Italian men are still gay sometimes on
Yeah,
on screen. On
Vito
screen.
was a good earner too.
Yeah, he was. You never seen? Oh man, it's a great. Jeff, look up Johnny Cake Sopranos. You'll love it. It's hilarious. And it's funny because Vito was a macho guy, right? He was a macho guy. And then Johnny Cakes was a firefighter. He owned a diner. Like, so people have this pre-notion of people that are other alternatives that are like limp wristed. But no,
Or
they're
they're
like really,
girly. Yeah,
there's really
he was
macho people
macho. Yep,
they're macho people that are gay.
yep.
There are,
He was a
you know,
firefighter. Yeah.
yeah,
Not many of them.
yeah. Not everybody's like snapping their fingers and swishing down the street. They are really butch people, that have that lifestyle. And the women too. There's the women that look like men, and there's the women that look, I guess they call them lipstick. The women that are more feminine, and there's women that are more butch. So it's fascinating, to see the difference in how people live their lives with a different lifestyle. So that's all. That's my rant.
Jeff, I want to apologize for the disruption, but I just
No,
we're
you're good as
overtaking
long
him.
as I don't get a channel strike over it.
Jeff,
You were in the moment.
I met somebody one time. Entire time I met this person, I thought this was a guy. I thought it was a man, but it wasn't. It was a woman. So I'm saying, like, people want to express themselves the best way they can. I think it's beautiful that people can express themselves on what makes them feel comfortable. Go ahead, Access. I don't mean to cut you off.
Well, I just wanted to apologize.
For what? I don't
Oh,
think you
it's
have anything to
cool.
for
apologize for. I
losing
don't have anything to apologize
losing
for. I
my
think you're.
losing my cool for a second on Jeff's live, man. He don't need that.
Well, access. I think we do need it, and I think you need it. I think you're
Yeah,
expressing
it's not so
yourself.
much the losing the cool. It was the
Yeah,
content that might draw attention of the censors.
yeah. You want to
But
express
I'll probably
yourself.
be okay.
Yeah, I think you'll be fine. But just just
Like I
watch
said,
the
if we were
words.
hanging out in person, I wouldn't care about it. None of it would bother me.
So instead of saying like the R word, say grape.
I know,
Instead of
but when
saying
when people are in the
yeah,
moment like that, they're not gonna
definitely, totally, dude.
think
I've been in the moment before.
think about
You had
those
to
little
thrash me.
nuances.
You had to thrash me before in the past. So I understand, but it's just like you just have to learn how to kind of your diction because, like I said, like Jeff is saying, Axis, um, YouTube does look at these things, and people will try to strike Jeff's channel because Jeff has a lot of enemies. Jeff has a lot of
I got a
friends.
strike on my old channel. I had a guest on, and it was something about vaccine misinformation. And I went back and I watched it, and I couldn't find a single thing the guy was saying that they were saying was
Yeah,
vaccine mis.
yeah.
So to this day, I don't know why that episode got struck
You got a
because it
you
wasn't
did get a
anything that
strike?
YouTube was saying that it was.
Wow. Maybe because you were just talking about it. Sometime I don't know. That's not fair, but
I don't know because I mean, other people have
that
talked
is
about it
weird.
plenty of times.
Yeah, and you haven't gotten another one, have
It
you?
even gave me timestamps, and I went to the timestamp, but he wasn't talking about anything vaccine related.
Mhm, mhm.
I wonder if somebody reported that or if it was automatic.
I don't know.
They're getting more. They're getting more
Because
into like.
sometimes I get those little notices at the bottom, so I know they're detecting the content somehow enough to put those blue notices about different topics.
Well,
Lately,
the
I get a lot
reason,
about the election. So anytime we talk about the election, it'll say AP called the election for Donald Trump, blah, blah, blah.
well, Jeff, the reason why they're
Yeah, I,
monitoring is because people are reporting you. The haters are reporting you, and then they start to look at the channel and start to
Well, but this was
dissect.
from my old channel from years ago that
Yeah,
nobody even
yeah,
watches.
Oh, that
yeah.
was from
I
yeah, I
think
years
you.
ago.
caught it.
So nothing recent then.
I,
Nothing recent.
Yeah,
No,
Okay.
so
people
far, let me find
people are
some wood.
cowards. People are
You
such
can
cowards.
I,
you can appeal it if they do that to
I
you,
did,
right?
but they said I said I'm appealing because I don't even see
Yeah, you should
what,
be able to
and
get
they said
around that
sorry, we're not changing our mind.
because you
Well,
don't
let
do
me ask you a
nothing
question,
wrong on
Jay.
this channel.
Did they say in the email, sorry, Antler Boy, goodbye?
No, because this is on my old channel before the antlers.
It
I'm
was
just
the
trying to make.
antlers, Jeff. You took the antlers
It
away, and
was,
now
Jeff. It
they're mad
was.
about it.
Maybe I
I
need.
don't know if you guys know this, but Jeff, when Jeff wears the antlers, he can get like radio communications, like in the antlers.
I
It
don't need
comes
any
in.
more extra
Yeah.
signal coming in than what's already here. Believe me.
He radios
Jeff
to
came.
other worlds.
My internet went out and my cable went out, and Jeff came over with the antlers on, and it just came back on. It was the
Just
weird.
came
I'm like,
back on like a
how is this
fucking
My
possible?
tinfoil antlers.
like those
And
old
then
like
and then and then
UFH
a and
headphones.
then a UFO landed in my front yard. I'm like, Jeff, what's going on?
Don't.
He's using those UHF
That's
antennas.
it.
It's
And then
funny.
Jeff, and when I met Jeff, he said, "I come in peace." I'm like, Jeff, you're an alien, dude. Get out of my house.
He's a hairless
I've
alien.
been I've been telling everybody that my whole life. I don't know why they don't believe me. I think a lot of them do.
Do you know Jeff can levitate? He just floats around the house, just floats around, just like hangs out. Jeff, it's not human beings don't drink 115 cups of coffee a day. I'm
Speaking
just
of, I
putting
need
it
to go
out
grab
there.
another one. Thank you for reminding me.
Yo,
Talk amongst yourselves.
I saw Trump on Joe Rogan. I heard he's gonna open up JFK files.
Yeah, yeah.
That'll be interesting to see what happens
I
there.
think Tommy, I think Trump is going to open up the UFO stuff too.
Oh yeah, he said. I mean, he did say
Yeah,
that he was going to, and
it's going to blow your mind. And what's going to happen is it's going to cause a divide within like Catholicism and like religion. Because it's going to be
really,
well, who is really our maker? Who made us? You know, and I think the biggest movie that I've seen that makes me wonder about religion is Prometheus, where it
oh, that's a
shows.
great movie, the Alien prequel, right?
but it shows the Anunnaki seeding us to create us from
Oh,
hominins
dude, that
into
that
human
movie's
beings.
wild, bro.
Yeah.
Wild movie.
So
Yeah.
there's some validity to it. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm not going to give up my faith, but it's fascinating just to hear about it and just listen to it. Just listen to the stories that they're telling. And
Wouldn't
aliens.
aliens have to terraform though? Wouldn't they have to like terraform our atmosphere? Maybe,
Um.
possibly.
Well, the did you see that they found Elon Musk was talking about they found a planet past Mars that has water on it?
No, I didn't. I didn't know about that.
I was watching it earlier, yeah, earlier today. There's a planet past Mars. I don't know the name of it. I can't remember the name of it. It's like a number.
Venus? Is it in
No,
our
no,
solar
it's
system?
it's in our solar system, but it's past
Oh, okay.
Mars, and there's claiming it has water on it.
Interesting.
So that means there's life on that planet. So there's a lot. There's a lot they don't tell us. There's a lot. There's a lot that they tell us that's fake. That's not real. That's just misinformation. And there's
Yeah,
a
they
lot of
keep
things
us
that they don't.
confused.
That's it. They don't tell us a lot of stuff. And I believe with all my heart that, well, I believe in God. That's just me. I believe in God. I believe that Jesus was real. He was a mortal man. I believe he passed away for our sins. I do believe that God, our creator, created thousands and thousands and thousands of different civilizations way before us. So as we evolve, look at us in the last 50 years. We went from, rotary telephones to iPhone 15s or whatever, 20s, whatever the fuck they
Yeah.
are now. But
In
look,
like
but
what, 50-year time
50
period
years.
or
It's like
something?
it's like that. So imagine
Yeah.
imagine a
It's wild.
civilization, imagine a civilization that's 15, 20,000 years old. Imagine
Yeah, it's
what they
wild.
have, their technology. So
And then what? They
it's
lost them to like an ice age or like the dark ages or whatever. Lost all that info or
I don't know. I don't know. I think we had civilizations on this planet multiple times. Atlantis, the Mayans, you know, um, things like that. But I think the Atlantis was, and they found it's underwater. But I think Atlantis was more futuristic than we were. I think they had technology that was so far down. And
that's real, Atlantis? Like Atlantis is real?
No.
look it up. Look it up. There's there's
I don't
foundations
know.
under the water of
I know
It's
civilization.
from
Aquaman.
Plato. It's
It is in Aquaman, but I don't know about real life. I was
Yeah,
wondering. No, because I heard about
I think.
that. I did hear theories like what he's talking about. So that's why
Yeah,
I'm
I
wondering.
just think I think the Earth has been. People always talk about eight. We talk about before Christ, after Christ. BC, AC. I just think that this planet's been around for way longer than that. Just way longer.
yeah, of
I
course it
believe.
has. Geologists can date it.
Yeah, I mean, shit. Look at the shit in Louisiana, predating Christ. We talked about this.
Oh yeah,
On
those mounds.
Yeah,
They're older than the pyramids.
yeah. So you can't tell me this planet hasn't been killed and restarted over and over and over again. It could be ice age, it
What you
could be
mean killed and
flooding.
restarted?
Killed as in like flooding or global warming or ice age or things like that. I think
Or a dark
it has.
age.
Yeah, I think a lot has to do with the sun, solar flares. EPMs. Like it's just there's just so much going on within the atmosphere. I don't
I
think
hope we
it's. I
never
don't
get
think
an
it's fun.
EPM,
Yeah,
dude.
I just think that the planet has relived multiple times. Relived. It's been kayed off and then it's been reborn again. And then they're trying to say that dinosaurs aren't real, but we have all the bones
I was just
and
gonna
they're
ask you about
predated.
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So you believe in
I mean
dinosaurs, definitely, right?
they're real.
Dinosaurs are real.
Yeah, I believe
But
in
they're
Who
people.
thinks dinosaurs are not real? Oh, is that the
People
thing where the devil put the bones there to fool us?
no, and then they're trying to say,
I
and
don't
then
know.
another thing is the giants,
He
the giant
didn't.
Anunnaki, the 8 foot tall
The
skeletons. Have you
Nephilim?
seen those?
Nephilim?
Yeah, Nephilim, the Nephilim.
All right, it's getting crazy up in here.
I'm saying, but these things. So so you find this this fake bunch of bones, right? And you carbon date it, and you say, okay, this has to be fake or real. And they're like, no, this stuff is real. Like, this is real. How can you have an 8-9 foot person? It's not possible. Back in those days, like, we've evolved where we get taller and taller as it goes on. I think the average height of a man in the 50s was what, 5'2"? I'm sorry, 5'6", 5'7". The average height.
5'2". Holy shit.
Those are hoaxes. They're called hoaxes. You talking about
5'6", 5'7".
the giant
Yeah.
bones?
5'2".
You got
People deliberately fake stuff like that to fool people like you. It's called hoaxes. You're the target.
You got little midgets running
It's a
around.
troll.
Hey guys, hey, you want to go outside and play? But no, I think it was like 5'5", 5'6" was the average height in the 50s.
Really? That's small?
Yeah.
Look, when Not Laws is telling you you're gullible, that's something to take very seriously.
Isn't
Well,
5'7" average now? 5'7"? Isn't that average?
I think the average height, I want to say the average height is 5'9". 5'9".
Oh, okay. So I'm under average.
Average height? Yeah. I think it's average height. Jeff can say, because Jeff's probably Googling right now. I think it's like around 5'9". But remember, guys, I'm only
It changes by country. Let's see. Y'all
Does
talking
it?
about the U.S.?
Well, I guess the U.S. Yeah.
Let's see.
It's so funny. The funniest shit ever is when they took my picture and they shrunk me down to like a midget. It was the funniest shit
You were
ever.
tiny Suro.
I'm like, yeah. Like, dude, I'm legitimately 6'3". It's like, he's short.
If you're a non-Hispanic male in the U.S., it's 5'10".
Oh wow! Holy crap!
So Hispanics are shorter?
If you're a Hispanic male, Hispanic and Latino in the U.S., it's 5'7.5". So it's a little bit shorter. Yeah.
Yeah. You think it's from the tacos? All the tacos they eat? What do you think?
I don't know, because they eat real tacos. So they don't eat the Taco Bell tacos, right? So I don't. It's no telling. Oh, Zat,
Well,
I didn't realize it was Zat's birthday today. He's doing a birthday stream.
Oh, happy birthday.
Is it? Happy birthday, Zach.
I
Yeah,
think,
let me go wish him happy birthday, Zat, if you're out there watching. But no, I'm counting you as a Scorpio. We're gonna claim you.
I'm a Scorpio.
I think the
You are
reason,
too?
I think the reason,
Yeah, just had my birthday.
I think Mexicans or Latin Americans, or what do you want to call them, and also Tommy, I think you're shorter because of all those Newports. That's what I think really made you short.
Smoking.
All of those what?
Newport.
Oh,
The smoking stunt your growth.
Cigarettes?
That's like a theory that smoking stunts your growth.
Oh.
Yes, smoking. I never smoked a cigarette in my life, not one.
I don't
not
know
even
if that's
one.
true though.
No, I've never had. No, it does. Nicotine and the like the tar, it does stunt your growth. It does.
Really?
Wouldn't you have to smoke it as a kid? That's when the growth happens.
I mean, Tommy was smoking when he was 3 years old. I mean, so I don't know. I mean, I don't realize.
You know. With a cigarette.
You know, when you have a kid and you have a cigar, like when you have Tommy grabbed the cigar and started smoking it. He was like, I'm just joking. I'm just trying to bust balls. No, but yeah, smoking is really bad for you. It's really, really bad for you. You know, and people they think that vaping is more healthy, but they're saying vaping is more dangerous than smoking.
More dangerous? I didn't know that.
It's worse for your body than actually smoking cigarettes, because the reason being is you're still ingesting, but you're doing it at such a higher rate. You're like you'll smoke a cigarette, right, and you maybe want one a couple hours later, unless you're a chain smoker. But people, you ever see people vape? It's like every 10 seconds. It's like
They do that with weed too.
It's nonstop. But weed doesn't have the tar in it and doesn't have the nicotine. So they're claiming that if you smoke natural weed, it doesn't hurt your body. They're claiming, but it still can harm your lungs. But I'm not a doctor, but I know that cigarettes, the chemicals that they put in cigarettes are bad, really, really bad for your body. the chemicals that they put in, not the natural tobacco. People that roll their own tobacco and it's all natural and shit like that, that's different from when you go buy a pack at the store because they put the tar and all the chemicals in the cigarettes. It makes them more addictive.
We used to get the Indian cigarettes from the reservation that was just
Mm,
pure tobacco, and
that's
but
it.
they were nasty. They were
When
really
my
harsh.
mom's when my mom smoked, she'd get the natural spirit tobacco, the
Yeah,
Indian
that
tobacco,
stuff.
and they would roll them. She had a roller and shit like that. But I mean, I guess it's not good for you, but there's no chemicals. It's chemical free.
I do know that Philip, I have to clean the pipe every couple of weeks or something, and it's clogged with this black goo that is
What are
so
we
I can only
talking about
imagine
here?
what's in the veins in the lungs.
Yeah. I don't know, Jeff. You just talk about black goo in a vein. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with you over there, but no, yeah, it's just I just smoking is not good for you. It's just not. It's not, but it's
Nah,
addictive.
there's tons of chemicals in the cigarettes, like
They are.
tons, not just nicotine, other crap too.
Hmm. And the thing is that when they're processing the tobacco, they'll spray the fields with chemicals to kill bugs, and then that goes into the tobacco. So you're actually
Pesticides, yeah.
insecticides. Yeah, you're actually smoking that, and it's translating into that. It's just like when you eating, you know, beef that's been injected with hormones or chickens with hormones. Like when you ingest it, it's going into your body, and that's why a lot of people are getting overweight because you're eating the hormones. The hormones are to make the animal bigger. You're ingesting the hormones, and you get fatter.
I've never heard that. I
You never
thought
heard
it
of
was
that?
eating a lot of empty calories and sugary foods and
Hormone
not exercising and fatty, greasy foods.
hormones in food that you eat. You can research it. It does. It messes your body up, and that's why people that have a farm or hunt or free range or what we call free range, the food tastes so much better, and the people are so much healthier. But yeah, they'll
They
they'll
have
give
fat
they'll
people on farms.
they do because they're eating too much, but eating too much cake. But no, it's fascinating, and these things are cool to think about. None of this stuff is
I
founded under
know. I hate
some.
these cool to think about conversations because none of them are rooted in
Yeah.
any. Like I like the fun to think about and actually has some basis in reality. Those are my favorite
But you're
conversations.
interested. But you're interested in the
The
theory. You're interested.
tinfoil, just like indulging my brain just because it's fun conversations, lead to
Yeah,
some very bizarre places.
that's it.
It's the Alex Jones kind of fun.
I'm in my Alex Jones voice. How am I doing Alex Jones? Yeah, it's just fluoride in the water.
I guess maybe if I had that kind of brain, I would relate more. But because I don't, it just seems so. It loses me.
It's cool. Some people
It's
like to
like
research.
people workshopping a novel. They plan around. Oh, let me tell you about this cool idea I have for a sci-fi novel. It's nothing I can grasp. There's no hook to grasp
Yeah,
onto to tie it to any kind of relatable analog and experience.
sure. But it's interesting. It's just interesting.
If you like
That's all.
sci-fi, I guess it's not my favorite
Yeah.
genre. Maybe that's it. Sci-fi fantasy.
You like romance novels, right? That's what you like.
No, I like mystery. I like the mysteries and philosophy, literature. Like we talk about Nietzsche, we can talk about Socrates, people like that. Even Jesus. Even Jesus talks. Jesus talks kind of crazy, and I can't always understand what he's saying. But that's way more interesting than the
Sure.
conspiracy stuff. He talks about
No.
planting seeds in fields and the different types of soil they grow on and don't grow on. It's way more
Where is
interesting to
that?
hear Jesus talk about seeds and crops than conspirators.
Where is that place? Is it in Sweden? I'm trying to remember where it is. Where they have the grain silo that has all the seeds
The seed
for.
bank, we talked about that yesterday too. I'm
Yeah,
sure there's
that's
multiple seed banks across the world. They just put all
yeah.
the seeds in one little place.
No, there's one that's like particularly like ginormous, and it has like every seed for every. So if something was to happen catastrophically, we'll have the seeds to replant and
Yeah, that sounds
replenish.
like a good idea.
Yeah, it's neat. But go ahead. I gotta go to the restroom. I'll be back.
Okay. Oh, I have nothing to say. I don't have any of my own. I just do reality. That's it. Boring old reality. Like Putin shooting nuclear missiles at Ukraine.
So what do you think, Jeff? You think they're going to try and before they get him
Just
sworn in,
because it's
try and
Putin,
cause
I know
some?
he likes to thump his chest more than he actually has capacity to act. So I think he probably shot a missile that he's then going to use to spread a lot of misinformation around and get people to react
Right.
in response to.
You ever see the movie The Insider with Russell Crowe? It's actually about tobacco companies and
Mm-mm.
like the guy that told all their secrets.
Wygand.
It's a good flick.
Yeah,
I'm
Jeffrey
looking it up now.
Wygand. He was the
Oh,
whistleblower.
that was his name? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they went after him. I think they went after him.
All right,
Yeah,
we're
they
back.
did.
When,
Oh, he was a
Yeah,
whistleblower.
yeah, they went after him.
that's a really good movie. Is um, the ICBM that they shot into Russia shot. It's to show they can do it. Is non-nuclear tipped, so there was no nuclear tip on it, but it was subsonic, so they couldn't shoot it down. So Putin is letting them know, if I feel like it, I can put a tip on this thing with a nuclear
Yeah,
weapon and
that's
blow you into it.
Yeah,
It's
that's
it's
flexing his muscle right
yeah,
there.
it's a flex. That's exactly
he can
what it
do it because
was.
they can't shoot it down. Now, if something comes towards one of the highly advanced ships, they have what's called the Sea Whiz, or the automatic, the 30 millimeter or the 50 millimeter cannons. They can shoot them. They can shoot a missile down. They do a trail where they do a trail in the air and it hits the missile. But if that missile was to be nuclear, it's still skyburst. But the whole
There were
thing is that,
6 warheads in that hypersonic missile he shot.
yeah, yeah. But
Sent it to
That's
six different places.
mhm,
oh my
yeah,
god! Wow,
yeah. But you have, and then you have, yeah,
wild. So
yep,
it splits off and goes to 6 different places. That's how it works.
Yeah. The hypersonic was just to get it there, and then it released to 6 individuals that went to 6 different places.
Whoa,
yeah.
that's wild.
If you watch it, it's boom, 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 boom. It's like you could see like the circumference of it. But he's just letting them know if he feels like pushing the button, he can. But the problem is if
It
he
was a warning because we let Ukraine shoot some of our missiles into his country. So he shot
exactly,
that back as a warning.
exactly, no doubt. If he put if he put those active, and with the kilotons they have, a third of Ukraine would be gone. A third of the country would just be gone. We'd be erased, be gone.
Russia
So
would be erased if they used nuclear.
no, you're right. You're right. So it's mutual. You're right. So it would
Yep.
be us, UK, France, all the nuclear nations. India. Actually, no.
Well,
I think
NATO's
India.
having a meet. They're all going to meet and figure out what they want to do.
I think
Well,
India would
yeah, they're
stay out.
going in. They're going to go into Ukraine. I almost guarantee it.
Because Putin is saying that any missiles used by other countries, those countries are now involved in the conflict. He's considering
Wow,
them as involved now.
that's what Biden
Well,
got it.
that would be United Kingdom, France, United States.
Here, I'm going to play the video that the Jeremy. Tell me if this is the one. Wow, looks like
Look at that.
aliens.
Look, boom, 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 boom.
Is that hypersonic he shot?
Yeah, it's a hypersonic missile.
Yep. Yep. Undetectable.
Yep. You can't stop it. It's unstoppable.
Are you still at
Well,
Walmart?
I'm putting
Huh?
my groceries in the car.
Oh, were there any people worth seeing?
No, I was looking, but mostly it was just elderly in there shopping. Nothing really to gawk at.
Uh,
You know, I don't go to Walmart to make fun of people because I'm one of them people.
oh, Chuck, you no, not there. Well,
However,
there's
I would
different
I would
levels of people of Walmart. I would not
I would
put.
never wear pajamas to Walmart though. Thank God I didn't see any.
I miss Walmart. I miss Walmart being open 24 hours. I remember
Yep.
Walmart was open. It was open
Oh, it's
24
not.
hours a
It's
week.
not 24 hours anymore.
No,
No.
nope.
Where you could
Only a
go at
couple
3
of
in the morning.
spots. There's only a couple of spots that are still 24.
Oh my! What happened?
COVID happened.
Oh, they never went back to their pre-COVID
You
Nope.
could
hours.
go
Is that because the
Walmart.
people are shopping less?
Walmart was the
Uh,
hangout spot. Like after the
no, I think
club
it
or
was so they could lay people off.
yeah,
Oh,
we would hang out in Walmart parking lot all night. We just hang out like after the club or something like that. You just go hang out. Like let's go
Well,
to
that's
Walmart
riffraff that does.
and
that's what the
we'd
black
get
people would do back home.
we get
Yep.
we get like
At the K,
we
they
get
would
like a
all
few
go park
minutes.
behind the
Now,
Kmart and
up
bring
in
their
the St.
boom
Louis
boxes of
area,
alcohol.
they're taking out the self checkout. They're going to go back to the people checkout line with Walmart.
It's
Why?
funny, man.
Too much theft.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
Wait,
that
say
makes
yeah,
what?
yeah.
What, Chuck? What?
too
Too
much
much
There's
theft.
theft.
too much theft up in the St. Louis area at Walmart with the self checkout.
That
So they're
makes
going
sense.
back to people cash out, you know.
Oh, well, Walmart used to make you show your receipt on the way out, and I never would. I would
That was
fight with
I
them
think
every
Sam.
time. That's one reason I quit going.
I thought that
if
was Sam's
they
that did that.
Well, Sam's too. It's all
Sam's
the
is
same company.
Walmart.
Uh,
Same, same
well,
company.
Sam's is a private club. Walmart's an
Yeah, but
open
they're
store.
But it's the same company.
If they ask me, they'd be refunding my money right quick.
No, yeah, I
yeah
fight with them every time. That's if you're
they,
accusing me of
they
theft, then you need to call the police and get them over here and charge me with something.
Yep,
Oh
Otherwise,
wow,
leave me
really,
alone
Jeff?
and
exactly.
get out of my way. I've already paid for this. Quit treat me like a
Oh
criminal.
wow, Jeff, you don't
And
just
then
throw the
sometimes they would try to make me show it anyway, and I would just walk out, and they would chase me out into the parking lot, and I'd have to push my shop cart to the car real fast.
Yep.
yeah.
man,
So
Jeff.
in Virginia,
It's the
we had
principle.
Yeah,
we
I
had a
hear it.
mass shooting. We had a mass shooting at a Walmart in Chesapeake, Virginia, and that's 2 cities away from me. And it was a mass shooting. It was an employee that shot some people
How
up with a
many
taser.
people? How many people
I
got shot?
think it was a couple people.
Well, that's not a mass shooting.
Well, let him tell
Right.
his story though,
Okay.
because
Well,
people.
it's not a story. It's real. But and what happened is that because of that, Walmart hired off-duty police officers from open to close for like 6 months, and now they're gone now. But they were afraid that was going to happen again. I think it was one or
They had a
it
big
was one.
shootout at the Walmart where I'm from, like a
Yeah,
year or so
yeah,
ago. It made the
Hell, that
news.
was normal where I lived in the
yeah.
parking lot
I'll digress. Go ahead, guys. Go ahead. You guys
to
take it.
get shot at. Jeez.
Go ahead.
That's why I moved. I got tired of my house getting shot up.
Hmm.
Well, other than I burned it down, so.
Well, neither one could have been good for the property values.
Well, we were
But
already in the process of looking for a new house when the house burned.
But it was nice. It was nice coming into Walmart and seeing a police officer standing at the door. It was nice to see that. I mean, I felt comfortable. It was awesome. That way, if anything was to happen, we have an officer right here.
Are
And
they open carry there, Mike?
yes, you can open carry in Virginia.
Oh, and that happened in Walmart?
You can
Wow.
open carry here too in my state as well.
Yeah. It
Well,
was
we
nice to
got,
see a police officer. It was nice to see a police officer there. And then I said to him, so I'm leaving, right? And I noticed one of them. I was like, hey, I have a couple friends that are still officers still. And I was like, do you work at precinct 1? He goes, yeah. I said, what are they paying you? He goes, they're paying us almost $50 an hour to be here.
yeah, with benefits, yeah.
I'm like, holy crap, $50 an hour
I
to
would,
just
I
stand
would bet.
50
50.
to work at Walmart?
No, the police officer was getting off duty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
was making $70 an hour if you roll in benefits at the steel mill I worked at.
So the
If you
police
count the
officer works.
benefits,
So the police officer has 2 days off a week, possibly 2 days off a week, and he goes and he maybe works 1 or 2 days. If he wants to work 7 days, he or she can, and they're going to work off duty and make $500 off duty. It's crazy. It's like, whoa,
it's not
you know.
it's not cash free though.
I thought,
It's
yeah, it's tax. I
So
it's
they're
thought,
tax.
so they're making close to $3,000 a week if they want to work 7 days a week. They're making close to $3,000 a week.
aren't some departments they're not allowed to do that? Like I thought
Yeah,
cops, like some departments
it's
they
up
weren't
to
allowed.
the
No
yeah,
moonlighting.
it's up to the department whether they can work private security or not.
Oh, okay. I was curious about that.
Because that's how it was in the town I lived in. They couldn't work private security at the strip clubs. They weren't allowed
Some,
to.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so the way it works, this is the way it works. So basically, if a police officer or armed security or a conservative of the peace, which I used to do, you can't work in the capacity where they're serving alcohol and be inside. You have
Oh,
to be
that's
out.
why, because of the
Yeah,
alcohol thing, right?
where
Liquor
they're
license crap.
serving
Yeah,
alcohol. Now,
mhm.
Walmart sells alcohol,
I heard
but you
about that.
can't consume it in the store. But if it's a bar, you can consume it inside the establishment. So that's why we had to be outside of the establishment, be outside. Can't go inside. The only time you can go inside is to clear the bathrooms and to clear the back rooms, the kitchen, so they can lock the place up. But you can't hang out inside while people are drinking alcohol, because the theory is that because you might be tempted to consume alcohol while you're carrying a firearm. That's the whole
Did you?
theory.
Well,
Are
why
you
is that the
familiar?
assumption? Just tell them not to. You can't just make that a rule, and then if they consume alcohol, they get fired.
Jeff, if
Exactly.
you walk into Jeff, if a police officer, if a handsome police officer walk into a bar, they're going to try to give him shots. Hey, you want a shot? You
And
want
the
a
police
shot?
officer says, "No, I'm on duty. I can't drink."
Some don't say that.
Well,
He's
then
not on
discipline the
duty.
ones that don't say that, but don't make everybody else not be able to have a job because of the idiots that
I
can't refuse
understand.
alcohol while they're
You
on duty.
I
they're
understand.
not
But
on
Jeff,
duty if they're in a
better
bar.
be that's okay. Better to be safe than sorry. So if you are working a detail, you have to be
No, it's not
outside.
better to punish the people that are
Yeah.
not like punish everybody else for the people that are not following the rules.
That that's that wokeism shit.
This is 25 years ago, but it's just that's what the rule was. You have to be outside, you have to be out front in the parking lot, doing detail. But you can't if you come inside. It has to be when everybody has left the establishment because you can't be.
That varies by municipality.
Hmm.
Because where I lived, the cops were allowed to make rounds within the bar. They just
Yeah,
couldn't
they used to
stay in
raid the gay
there.
club all the time. That didn't stop them.
So
Oh
that's
yeah.
different.
It's
That's
got to be
that's
regional.
different. That's with a warrant. That's different. That's with an actual entry warrant. That's different versus just walking in side
Oh
without a
no.
warrant.
We had cops come in all the time and check IDs on people
Cops come
drinking.
into the New Orleans bars all the
He's
time.
talking about police
Walking,
officers working there, not just cops
walking
They
walking.
would-
there.
they they would be off duty. They would not be
We
assigned
had an
there.
off-duty bouncer at the gay club. He was with the sheriff's department. He's a sheriff's deputy. He would work security at the gay bar on the weekends.
Right, but he wasn't a cop. He was security.
He was
You
security at the
can't.
bar. He was a cop
No,
for
Right.
his
no,
day job.
it's
Well,
in
what
a
I was
different.
saying was he
It's
couldn't be
different.
a cop working that job. He couldn't be
No,
listed as on
they didn't
duty
have cops there. They just had security. They had the one guy.
security.
They had bouncers.
I
Yeah,
know,
so
but
Right,
so
and
Jeff,
cops got jobs.
if you're an officer, Jeff, if you're an officer and you're off duty, you can work security, but there's different rules to, like Chuck is saying, if you're an officer
Right, but
and you
if
get
if I'm capable
called,
of refusing alcohol, I don't want to be penalized for where I can work or not if I'm not
I
going to
agree.
be the one breaking the rules.
I
So
agree
if
so
with
if
there's
that.
some
so an
other
officer,
cops that can't say no to alcohol, I don't want that to impact the jobs I can do.
Right,
that I'm
but
allowed
Shouldn't.
to
if an
do.
officer, if an officer is on duty, he has qualified immunity. If he's off duty, he's a civilian that works for the police department. That's the
What's
difference.
qualified? That means that. What's that mean again? Like
Qualified
exactly?
That
immunity.
means
Go,
they can
Chuck.
break the law and get by with it.
That's what I thought. Damn.
Yeah, it's different. It's
With
completely
certain
different.
qualifications, that's what's called qualified. They can't just do
Yeah,
whatever they want.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
yeah.
right.
Help them solve a crime or something, right?
Qualified immunity means the state or wherever you work, mainly the state will protect the officer against lawsuits, criminal actions, things like that. The state will step in and protect them. When you're working off duty, you're a civilian that works for the police department. You're basically security, which has no qualified immunity. So
Yeah,
it's a
you're not tied to any official capacity with the police department.
there you go. You're not answering a call. If you call me in, I can kick you. If I hear someone screaming, if I you can kick their door in, you can come in, you can do whatever you have to do. But you can't just walk up off duty and just do whatever you want. It doesn't work that way. So it's a slippery slope. It's a very interesting paradigm when you look at law enforcement. It is. It really is. It's 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 scary in effect because you could be doing your job the way you want to do it, or you might be doing something good, like we talked about earlier, and still get charged with something.
You
Like
know,
what?
you know Loretta Lynn's Dude Ranch, Mike.
Say it again.
Loretta Lynn's Dude Ranch in
No.
Tennessee. Okay, well, it's a big ranch she owns. And every year, ever since 2016, this motorcycle club's been coming down and having a big festival. This last year, somebody got killed and they just got sued for $160 million.
Mm.
Loretta did, or the motorcycle people?
Wow.
The Loretta Lynn's Dude Ranch did
Which is her.
because they were operating three fully stocked bars that were advertised, and the person that killed the person was drunk.
Mm.
Mm.
DUI,
I
yeah.
Yeah, Chuck, I almost moved to Maryville, right outside Knoxville. Tennessee is beautiful.
Oh,
Beautiful,
yes, it
beautiful.
is.
Really
I
is.
have family. See, right by
I love camping up
Summertown.
there.
Summertown.
Oh man, Maryville is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been in my life. I love Maryville up in the
Well,
mountains.
That's East Tennessee. Yeah, that's the Appalachian.
And then we go right by Gatlinburg, and then we'd go to Knoxville, and we'd watch a Volunteers game when they were in season. But then my wife's parents moved to they're down in Memphis now. In Memphis.
Ew, I wouldn't give you
Yeah,
a nickel for Memphis.
yeah.
How's
But
Memphis? What's that like?
more urban, more urban. It's kind of like the
Urban,
ghetto part of
like the
Tennessee.
hood.
Memphis is trash.
I
Yeah,
get it.
but the reason why is because um, they're builders, they're home builders. So like there was a lot of opportunity to build homes down in Memphis, but in Maryville, I'm telling you, as I'm in Virginia, right, and I'm from New York, I went to Virginia. I go to Maryville, and going through the Smoky Mountains was just beautiful. And it was smoky. It was like foggy, and you're going up these hills, going all the way up. Like it's like
That's why they call
yeah,
it the Smoky Mountains.
yeah. And but it was so cool. And but Maryville was so nice. I felt so at home there. It was just a nice place to be. People from
Well,
Tennessee.
wokeism done hit that national park there in Gatlinburg.
Mm.
What happened?
They had to rename. There used this thing called Klingman Dome. It was
Yeah,
about a mile hike
I
up this
used to go.
mountain.
Yeah, I think we camped up there.
Well, apparently that was a racist name, so they're changing the name of it.
What the?
Mm.
Exactly.
These
Chuck, the
people need
best
to
thing.
stop.
Chuck, the best thing in the world is that they live
Oh,
on.
I have. Yeah, it has that walkway. That little. Yeah, we
Yeah.
went up there. I've been there. What?
Yeah.
Now they're
They're
calling it
nuts.
Kiwahi. They're naming it after the
Uh huh.
Cherokee thing. I remember
I never,
Exactly.
Klingman Dome.
I never in my life ate so much Crystal burgers. Hey, Chuck, you know about Crystal,
Yeah,
the
White
little.
Castle.
Oh my God, man! I ate like 30 of them. They were so
The mo
fucking good,
the
man.
most the most of
Woo.
them I ever ate was 24 at one time,
Yeah, I was about 240 at the time. I ate like 30 of them. They were
and
so good.
I puked like a dog afterwards.
Oh yeah, oh
Hey,
yeah.
Alan. Congratulations. Is it your birthday or something? Don't.
Birthday? We like birthdays.
I love Tennessee. If I didn't live in Virginia, I'd probably say I'd love to live in Tennessee. And no,
We
and I'm
went to
not saying.
Chattanooga. They have that railroad that goes up the mountain, and they have
Yep,
Rock City at the top, where you walk through the
yep,
caves and you see the little
yep.
ferries. And they have the Lookout Mountain where you can see all the different states from one point. We did all that on a field trip as a kid.
Yeah, I had
Dollywood,
a
all that's in that area.
yo, Gatlinburg. Gatlinburg is that was my favorite part of Tennessee. Going to Gatlinburg, they have the ski lift, and then they have like a ski lift,
Yeah,
but it's
that's
like
where
a
we went
lift.
camping, Gatlinburg.
Yeah. Oh man, Gatlinburg, and they have restaurants, all this other stuff. Oh my God, Tommy, some of the best chicken parmesan I ever had was in Gatlinburg. It was an Italian restaurant in Gatlinburg.
What the hell
The
are you
food,
doing eating Italian? Supposed to be eating barbecue when you're in.
oh man, that food was knock your socks off Italian food. And they were all from Italy. And I'm like, whoa. It was, but well, I'm Italian and my ex, she's half Italian, so yeah, so it was really, really good.
The racist, Paula Dean, the racist.
The
Oh,
racist.
She
yeah.
got canceled.
Well,
She was one of the first cancel victims
even
back in the
even
2000s.
Dolly Parton had to change the name of her show club that she had, her dinner club.
What was her
Yeah.
dinner club?
It used to be
Dollywood.
called the Dixie Stampede or something
Oh,
like
like when
that.
the Dixie Chicks had to change
Yep,
their name.
yep,
That's
yep.
so silly. They became the Chicks. There's nothing wrong with the word Dixie. It's French for 10. It was the name of the money that they used. It had
Well,
nothing to do with
all I
race.
can
It's
say is
people that make everything racist.
come down here and try to take my battle flag. Let's see what happens.
I'm from
So
Dixie. I'm proud. That the term came from Louisiana.
there
Yes,
was a
it
I'm
big
did.
thing.
proud Dixie.
So being in Virginia, there's Virginia was the Confederate capital. I've been to the Confederate White House in Richmond. There it's very steeped in Confederate history. Okay, and I'm from New York, so I don't dispute either or. Um, but in Portsmouth, Virginia, they got all of the Confederate statues taken down, like ripped down, and
Yep, yep. Unfortunately.
it's yeah. But they were vandalizing one. But in Portsmouth, Virginia, they had this big, huge Robert E. Lee on a horse, and
Yup, I
they
remember
had to,
tagged it. I saw that on the
yeah,
news. Right?
they ripped it down, and it's
They
disgusting
tagged
because
it. Yeah.
Robert E. Lee was a Union soldier. He was a colonel in the Union Army, and they gave him the commission of Major General, and he turned it down, and then he went to the Confederacy, but he was still a Union soldier. Everything I'm saying, you guys can look and see what I'm saying.
Yeah, because he was a slave owner, they tried to cancel him. But everybody was a slave owner back then.
So, dude, George Washington was a
And he,
slave owner.
he
Thomas
was a slave. Exactly. It was
Yeah, I
part of
Thomas
think they would
legacy.
like to cancel the whole South if they could.
Exactly. Exactly.
Thomas Jefferson was a slave owner. Like they were all slave
Right,
owners.
that's why the
And he,
Constitution is racist. That's their argument
I'm
for that the United States
yeah,
is a racist country because the people that wrote the
yeah.
founding documents owned slaves. Therefore, that
yeah.
makes them racist. Therefore, when they wrote the Declaration of the Constitution, the racism got magically embedded into the document because it was written by racist men.
Well, Jeff, would you
I'm not
be a
kidding.
slave?
I covered this on a stream.
No problem. I understand.
It's called
But
it's a certain type of racism. I think it's
Wow.
just structural.
I
yeah,
mean, what do you think about that? I
I
mean,
think
the
it's
richest
stupid. I
the
think it's
richest
people that
president.
can't contextualize.
Yeah, the richest president ever. They say was Washington, and Washington was really rare because that's back in those days. He was really tall and very boisterous, and he was extremely wealthy. But yeah, they were all. That was like the norm back then to have. people that worked on your land. But I'm not
They
compartmentalizing or
call
saying
them
anything is what
slaves.
it is. But some of them,
Yeah,
some
I
of
guess you
the
could call them people that work on your land.
some of the owners, some of the, yeah,
I I can't tell you what my grandpa used to say about
yeah.
slaves.
Now I'm
Not
Well,
curious.
on air.
Oh,
yeah, it was
okay. I
like,
guess I want. If Paula Dean got canceled, I don't feel safe either. We better
yeah,
not
Yeah, I'm
take a
not going to
risk.
say it. I don't want to take a chance.
but
It's bad.
there have been, but there have been slaves throughout history. I mean,
Yeah,
slaves.
yeah,
The Jews
they
were the
have.
first slaves.
They're
You know,
still
there was
slaves.
yeah, and there was all kinds of different slaves. You know, and it's terrible. It's tyranny. It's not good. It's terrible. I mean, you're basically working for nothing just for scraps. It's a horrible way to live. You know, but they, you know,
I've
it's just
never met a
it's
slave I didn't like. Hell, I like all
so.
people.
I don't know. I could think of some people it, that seem like you care too much for.
Oh, you mean Jesus Christ? I mean, Jack? He
Yeah,
made that
it's
claim again last night, and I almost fell out of my chair.
it's an interesting topic, you know, the whole thing of bondage and slavery, and it's an interesting topic, and
Yeah, it sure is.
Well, last year we just took indentured servitude off the books in Tennessee.
mm,
You know what
yeah.
indentured servitude was, right?
So Virginia, North Carolina, Tennessee, these were all Confederate states. These were all Confederate states.
Well,
Chuck,
Tennessee used to be Virginia
yeah, Chuck,
before it got cut off.
right
But
outside of the VCU campus, the Virginia Commonwealth University campus, is the Confederate White House. That's where the Confederate president lived. That's where his son passed away. He fell out the window. He actually fell out a window. I'm not
well,
lying to you. Look it up.
I've been to the site in
Yeah.
St. Louis where they was going to build the White House originally.
So Jeff, look up Confederate White House, Richmond, Virginia, and it's there. We've been in there. Me and my son went there. We're like, this is crazy.
Oh,
And what they do is they rope the rooms off, so you can't go into the room, but you can look at the room, and it's preserved exactly how it was back then. And
we got a courthouse where I used to live, Mike, that was built in 1699.
yeah, it's wild. And my
Yeah,
daughter
they
went
do
to
that with all
VC.
the plantations back home too. You could
My
tour them.
daughter went to my daughter went to VCU, Virginia Commonwealth University, and it's right next to the medical center at VCU. So like you come in to like get like surgery or something like that, and right next to you is the Confederate White House. It's the
Well,
craziest shit
it's
ever. It's like
it's just a piece of history, Mike. It has no
yeah,
significance other than that.
It
yeah,
does, though, to a lot of people because they give it significance. I don't think that
yeah.
thing's gonna. Well, I think we're okay now after the election, but if Kamala had won, I don't think that thing's gonna stand for too
Yeah,
much longer.
it would have got worse. You're right.
Yeah, it was gorgeous. And then you go to Colonial Williamsburg, and they have a
Oh yeah, I've
house.
been there.
Yeah, they have a house there that was so a lot of it's reconstructed where it's like refurbished, whatever you want to call it. But there's one house there that is actually the original, and I believe that
Well, I got a log
he's
cabin down here,
mm,
original.
Did you build it?
No, no, it's older than dirt.
mm,
I mean, it's crazy. You can still find them down here, and people still live in them.
I love Williamsburg. I go up there all the time. I love it.
Yeah, I do too.
I almost went to William and Mary. It was close. Almost went to William and Mary. That's a college in Williamsburg. Um, yeah, that's where Lawrence Taylor went. I think Lawrence. No, no, what? He went to North Carolina.
Who the fuck is Lawrence Taylor?
The greatest linebacker to ever play the game of football.
No, not the
He's
greatest.
from no Lawrence Taylor, LT from the Giants. That's the greatest linebacker to ever play football.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, he's from Williamsburg, but I think he went to Chapel Hill. I think he went to North Carolina. I'm not sure.
Was he a Tar Heel?
Yeah, I think he was a Tar Heel, but he grew up in Williamsburg.
That
Yep,
makes him no different than the next man.
I think he did. But he was the greatest linebacker to ever play the game of football. LT
Uh,
Lawrence Taylor.
well, look, did
One
you
of the
ever
best.
run?
One of the best.
Did you ever run across Benton on the YouTube?
Who?
Benton.
No, I don't think so. Doesn't
His
sound familiar.
grandfather held the record for eons in the NFL for receiving yards from like
Hmm.
1944 to whatever year it was broken.
Hmm.
But I was surprised, and
Yeah.
you know, now his grandfather was black, mind you, and he's as white as
Benton's
pure driven
grandfather's
snow.
black?
Yeah,
I would have never
you know
known.
Benton, don't you, Jeff?
Yeah.
Yeah, look up NFL Benton, player Benton. Think he played for the LA Rams or something like that. I can't remember. But he held a record for a long time for yards receiving or something
Hmm.
like that. I just found it fascinating.
Well, the greatest receiver, I think the greatest receiver of all time is Jerry Rice. I think that's the greatest receiver of all time. Jerry Rice was
Nah,
beyond legend. Beyond legend.
I
He was
think
so
I
good.
think one of the greatest baseball players was Mark McGuire as far as batting.
Hell no. Hell no.
I
Mickey
got
Mantle.
I got I got to see him bat, and that was art. That was pure art.
Mickey Mantle could hit a home run with one arm. That's how good
It was
Mickey Mantle.
steroids.
Well,
Mark
it was
McGuire was a
steroids.
steroid
Yes,
animal.
it came out that it was steroids. Correct. But I'm talking
That's why
about
I don't. I can't respect that.
while it was going on, just his eye coordination was phenomenal. I couldn't believe it.
Mickey
I heard
Mantle,
a lot
Mickey
of people.
Mantle,
Yeah,
Mickey
go ahead.
Mantle had a fractured shoulder and was hung over and would still hit home runs with one arm. Mickey Mantle is, I think, the
Well,
greatest hitter
I'd have to look
I've
that
ever
one
seen.
up.
There's Roger Maris. They both had the race, the 61.
Remember the movie 61, Tommy? You ever see the movie
61,
61?
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
Billy Crystal made it. Great.
Barry Pepper and the other guy,
You can't
I'm
go
not sure.
by movies though. They embellish
Great.
things in movies. That's not
No,
fact.
this was 100% accurate. 100% accurate.
There's
This
no
was
way no movie is 100% accurate. They embellish it to make a story out of it.
Roger Maris was also probably in the top 10 greatest home run hitters of all time. Top 10. Roger Maris was unbelievable.
Was he a St.
He,
Louis Cardinals at one time?
he was a
I
Yankee.
don't know. They were Yankees at the time.
Yeah.
Phillies.
I thought he ended his career as a Cardinal.
No,
I don't
I don't
I
know.
don't think so. But the one
I
thing,
think
the
he
Oh,
one
was.
thing, the one thing to talk about baseball, the one thing that's going to be true to fact is that no team will ever have 27 world championships like the Yankees. It'll never
well,
happen.
that's because they bought their team. Nobody else could buy a team like the Yankees. They didn't have the financial backing to buy a team
Yeah,
What's
like
your
the
that's
favorite
Yankees.
team?
the theory. That's the thing because there's
My
no
team is
salary
the
cap.
Cardinals.
Because there's no
Yeah, the
salary
Cardinals.
cap in baseball.
I mean, look at Albert Pujols. There was another phenomenal hitter
Was
before he
it
got hurt.
Ozzy? Who was it? Ozzy something? Ozzy Smith?
Ozzie
Yeah,
Smith,
yeah,
shortstop.
yeah, yeah. Really, really good player. Good player.
He
I
wasn't a
mean,
very he wasn't a good hitter, but he was an excellent in defense.
do you think he's better than Jeter?
Yeah, I
Mm,
do.
For defense or offense?
Defense,
Okay, maybe defense.
not offense. No, by no means. He was not an offensive player.
what was that? What was that shortstop for the Braves? Was it Chipper Jones? Was he a
Uh,
shortstop? What? Okay, so what is the best pitcher, Chuck? What is the best pitcher you think of all time? The pitcher.
Wait a minute, I lost signal. Let me.
What's his name? Randy. What? Randy.
Randy Johnson. Randy Johnson.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites.
I think he threw like 104 5-mile-an-hour fastball.
Remember when he hit the bird?
He hit the bird and the bird exploded.
Bird exploded. Yeah, that was crazy.
He hit a bird with the ball or with the bat?
Yeah, and it exploded. Like there was just feathers everywhere.
Dude, Jeff, he's pitching, right? He's winding up and he's pitching. And a bird flies past. And he hits the bird with the ball and the bird goes
Like, was the ball in the air when he hit the bird, or was it still in his hand?
No, he's
Did he like smash the bird with the ball?
Yes.
Wow.
It was a fluke.
Was it on
fluke
video?
Of nature.
I wanna
A
look
fluke
it
of
up.
nature.
Yeah.
Who is it? Who's this guy?
Randy Johnson. He was a pitcher.
Okay, this just got exciting.
They say that he threw like 106, 107 miles an hour in practice.
Oh,
That's
fast,
that
All right,
would
let's
be
watch
the-
Randy hit the bird. Hang on.
Oh, you got it. Nice.
I'm excited.
Gentlemen,
So he's a
I wanna
bird
thank
killer.
you guys first.
Oh, he threw the bird at the ball. I mean, the ball at the bird.
The ball at the bird, yeah, and the bird flew into the ball.
Oh, they're doing it slow. Poor bird. You can't even see the bird. It's like it hyperspaced into there. What right as the ball was? Well, there's no bird. Okay, this is a conspiracy theory. There is no bird there.
Yes, there is. Play it on slow mo. Watch the bird fly.
Oh, I see. Now it.
Yep.
Man,
Yeah, the bird exploded.
poor.
He's a
Wow.
bird killer.
Remember
Poor
in Major
thing.
League?
He
when
has that on his
Toronto
conscience.
chased
The
pitcher?
catcher's like, holy shit. He's like backing off going, what the fuck just happened?
I think Axel was trying to get Jeff's attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank you, Jeff, for having me up here and for you guys hanging out. I'm gonna try and get a couple things done. As usual, Jeff, man, thank you, and thanks for being patient with me, guys.
Axis,
feel
you hang
better,
in there.
bro.
I hope things get better. I know it's rough.
Just thank you guys, man. Thank you for being there.
Well,
Feel better,
you too.
man. This
Thank you too.
sucks
Good
his
to see
life,
you.
Axis. Feel better. God bless you, man. That was the craziest thing, though, when he hit that bird. It was wild. It was
Yeah,
like,
I didn't know
whoa.
about it. What year was that?
That was a while ago. That had to be like, what, in the early 2000s?
That was not a while ago. Don't say that. 2001, March of 2001.
Yeah, early 2000s. Yeah.
Seemed just like yesterday.
My son was 1 year old, little boy, little butterball. But yeah, no, Randy Johnson was said to have the most powerful arm in the league. Like he could throw.
Because he killed the bird?
No, because his power, the way he wound up in his power. I think my favorite.
Were any other animals killed during baseball?
Not that I can know.
Cows, people's pets, anything?
I do know that Fabio. Remember Fabio, the famous Italian model.
The model?
Yes, he got hit in the face with a bird on a roller coaster.
Okay, is that a video?
And it broke.
I have a
his
new
nose.
genre of YouTube now.
Yeah. He was on a roller coaster, and then I guess a bird came back and it hit him in the nose, and it broke his nose, and like there was blood everywhere. So if you can, Fabio nose broken.
Okay, actually, I have that for you.
He was like he's an Italian hunk. Jeff will get
Well,
down
some
with
people
that.
think he's a hunk. Here,
Yeah.
let's watch Fabio get his nose broken by a bird.
I want to thank everybody for coming.
Oh, it had
And
to have
this
been
is
filmed.
this is at Busch Gardens in Williamsburg, Virginia.
I've been there.
Virginia. Yeah.
Oh, that looks fun. I want to ride a coaster so bad.
It's a shithole park.
They could have edited this down, or at least given us a point of view. That's all we get to see. She's laughing like she didn't seem concerned at all. Is this did this really happen? She look. The girl next to him is laughing. She's like giddy and excited.
I'm here today just to say, it's like it was a miracle, but it wasn't a freak accident, and it's going to happen again. And I cannot live with my conscience knowing
So what does he want?
the
Like
ride is still running.
not to
And
have roller
maybe,
coasters
a
anymore?
person or even a child can be.
I don't know. That was. I need more than just that. Yes, they are.
There was a video where it did hit him, and you could see it, and it like explodes.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah, but no, his nose is see the bridge. So when you break someone's nose, the bridge separates, like right here, it'll separate, and that's where the nose is
I've had my
broken.
nose broken.
Yeah,
I know exactly what it does.
yeah.
I can't get
know.
over the girl next to him. She seemed so unconcerned. She was laughing and giggling the whole time. She looked at his face, it was all bloody, and she starts giggling. What's wrong with her? She seems like a psychopath.
Well, it could be also a nervous laugh. People will sometimes laugh when they're nervous or they're scared.
My wife is horrible. I get so pissed off about that.
Yeah.
She
That's
laughs
her.
at people's
That's her.
misfortune.
Well, or when a bad situation's at hand, that's just how she deals with it.
Yeah. It's a diversion. It's a diversion of.
I don't know. I'm not ready to give her that easy of a pass.
No,
I mean,
no,
I'm
it
laughing
is.
at it now, but I wasn't sitting next to the man on the roller coaster. I'm sure I would have had a much different reaction if I was next to him.
Me personally, I would have been like, "Are you okay? Are you all right?
Yeah,
Oh my
me
God."
too. Like, oh my God, your face is bloody. Can we get you some help? Are you okay? She's just sitting there.
He's probably a soy boy, and he probably screamed and cried like a little woman.
That's why they cut it out. That's the edited version.
Yeah.
I want to know what happened on that top of that roller coaster.
Yeah.
What are they not showing us?
I would have wiped my shirt on his
Is
nose.
this how the conspiracies feel? The spiritards?
So I can have Savio's blood on my shirt.
I think he made a move on somebody and they hit him.
Oh, and he's
no. He got hit with a
that
bird.
was a bird.
There's a video out there somewhere where I've personally seen it, Chuck. I've personally seen
where
the
it
bird.
Shows the bird.
Yeah, it hits him right in the face. He's like that.
Why is it so hard to find? Let's see, Fabio Bird.
Yeah, it hits him right in the face. Nobody punched him. He got hit in the face with a bird, and they made fun of him on Letterman, on Jay Leno. They made fun of they made fun of him because he got hit in the face with a bird.
That's cruel.
Yeah, but I mean he's okay. I mean I guess it
was a goose.
Was it a goose?
It was a goose.
Okay, here's what Fabio said. It's called Goosegate. Fabio saying the goose hit the camera that was on the roller coaster, and the camera shattered, and a piece of the glass fell and cut his face. That the goose itself did not actually hit his face.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Well, I always heard that he got hit in the face with a bird, so I guess the bird precipitated him.
See, that's how that misinformation starts. We end where we begin. That's what I was talking about at the very beginning of the stream.
I think a goose hit him. I think a goose hit him and dropped an egg in his lap, and he was good to go.
Oh, it's funny.
I made ramen.
It went over a pond, and there was a pond that had a bunch of geese in it, like hundreds of geese. He said, and one of them hit the camera.
I'm a bird lover. I'm a bird. Well, that goose is probably K-worded because if you hit that
And
camera,
just like Trump, he said he saw the metal coming after, and he turned his head just in the nick of time to where it only got his nose. He said it really was a miracle.
Oh,
so
wow.
is it Nosegate? We start calling it Nosegate, right?
Of gate.
It's called
Wow.
Apollo's Chariot, and it's still running at Busch Gardens.
Oh yeah.
There's people
Hopefully, they took the geese
that
out.
don't think Trump was shot.
I liked Busch Gardens. The Loch Ness Monster was great.
Mm. Yeah, and another thing we have up here is called King's Dominion. King's
Yeah, I went to
Dominion.
Kings Dominion, Busch Gardens, and
Yeah,
Kings Dominion. We went to vacation in Virginia when I was younger. So
yeah.
Disney.
Our
Disney's the only place.
yeah, Disney's nice.
I think I like Six Flags way better than Disney.
But Busch
oh,
Gardens is
Six
a nice
Flags in,
park. Nice park.
whoa, Six Flags in Jersey is the best. Six
Yeah.
Flags in New Jersey is the best. But what we have up here, we have a Great Wolf Lodge. You know what that is? Great Wolf Lodge. It's an indoor water park. Arcades, bowling. It's a high hotel. Great Wolf Lodge is the best. It's expensive. We've probably been about 8 or 9 times. I think. Let me see. Because me might know 3, so you can't count. So some days we went for 2 days, some days for 3 days. Probably 8 or 9 times. Great Wolf Lodge. It's an indoor, enormous water
How
park.
much is it per day?
Right around $300.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that is expensive. Shit, I thought you
Yeah.
were gonna say like $50 a day.
About $300.
300 for one person?
So you can have up to 5 people.
But what if you just wanted to go by yourself? Would it still be 300?
Well, you wouldn't go by yourself because it's more for
But what if you
family.
did? What if you were weird and you wanted to go by yourself? Would they still charge you 300?
Same price. Me and my son. So I left one job and me and my son went because we've been there multiple times, and I mean I'm talking a lot. And then I took my other family there, and then they have the lodges. The lodges are 2 stories, so it's like multiple bedrooms, and those are probably about $500 a night.
But
But
that's the hotel. Like you stay there. That's the hotel part of it.
it's the hotel, the water park, but food is not included. Then you go
Yeah,
to the buffet, and the buffet is $20 a person. Back then,
that's cheap for a buffet.
back then, we're talking about 15 years ago, 10, 15 years ago. I'm sure it's like 30 something bucks now, but it became one of my clients when I was doing the restoration, and then I would get rooms comped sometimes. It was awesome, but it was the shitty room. It was the room with the one bed, and only 2 people can be in there. But no, that place, Great Wolf Lodge, and they're all over the country. There's one in Pennsylvania. Tommy, there's one in Pennsylvania.
I want to see if they have one up here.
Yeah, but the one in
Because they don't have any
dude,
amusement parks.
they have a freaking Dunkin'
Idaho's
Donuts.
the nearest one.
Yeah, it's great. It's so much fun. But think about the biggest water park, dude. They have a wave pool. They have slides. They have all this shit. And it's inside. It's all enclosed inside. So you never have to go outside. It's an indoor water park. But then it's also a hotel. It's also all these other amenities in there. Restaurants and stuff like that. It's an experience. It is.
Oh
But
wow, they do have one up here. Hang on. Ooh, is it open year round?
Yeah, yep.
Okay, Grand Mound? Where is that? Between Portland and Seattle. That's near me. Fuck. Okay, I'm getting excited. Does anybody want to go to a water park? How do I find out where this place
Dude,
is?
it's awesome. That place is awesome. Like you just have so much fun
I could
in
stream
there.
it.
They have a wave pool where you have a surfboard and they do the artificial waves and you're surfing on a surfboard and you're just like in a wave pool. And then they have the spinning fucking things and they have the
I love
rapid
the
river.
wave pool.
Oh my god, dude! And then they
Oh my God, it's
My
right
kids
off
are-
of the
that's like their
interstate,
favorite
right
place.
past Olympia,
Wave pool.
between Olympia and Vancouver.
yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, it's fun.
They did a special. They did a special.
$410
one time where
through
Yeah,
For
November
what?
it's expensive.
30th. But that's the hotel too. You
For how
you
many
can go
people,
just for
Jeff?
the park, right? Or do you have to get the hotel room?
You have to have
Well,
the
the-
room for the night. You can't just go for the park. You
Oh,
have to
so it's
have-
not open as a water park to the public.
No, You
These
have
rooms are cool though.
yeah, it's really
Wow.
nice. They have the wolf carpeting and stuff like that.
They
It's
have
neat.
like little tree houses in them and little
You
caves and
talking
shit.
about Great
And they
American?
Wow.
have and they have the magic. They have the magic experience where you get you buy a little wand that's like $50, and then they go around. They have little wand marks where you do. It's like a interactive thing that you do all around the hotel, and the hotel is hundreds and hundreds of rooms. Like it's like, dude, these places are enormous. It's not like just some place you go, like you're going to the Ramada. This is like, it looks like a compound. That's how big this place is.
That's like
I'm
And
what
it's
so
Disney
cool.
excited to
London's
go to
just
Grand
like in
Mountain. Oh, is
Walt
it year round?
Disney
Is it
World.
heated?
Year round, year round. Dude, it's always warm. It's always warm inside. It's inside. So they have this thing where in the middle of the water park, they have this big bucket, right? And this big bucket fills. I'm talking about a bucket that's the size of like a car. And then once it fills, it flips over, and people stand there.
They have
It's
that
the
at
coolest
Sesame
thing.
Place too.
Yeah, it's the
Oh,
coolest thing.
I remember Sesame Place. We
Yeah,
went to
I
that as a
live right
kid.
by Sesame Place, Jeff.
They
Like
had
Tommy,
one in
right next to it.
Dallas.
people get hit with the bucket and they'll fall down and roll around.
Yeah,
Because
it's fun.
it's so much water hitting you at once. It's like hundreds
Yeah,
of
the
gallons of
bucket's
water hitting you
huge.
on the back of your head. You know, it's a,
It looks like you can get a day pass.
Mhm.
Not
You
an
probably can
overnight
get a day
guest, but looking
pass.
to enjoy. Book one of our day passes.
Yeah, you
We
probably
went,
don't have to stay overnight, but
we went for
it's
one.
easier, you
We
know.
we went for one day, and then because I was between careers at the time, and I was like, let's just stay, son, because it was just me and my son, and it was summer vacation,
60
and I'm like,
bucks for a full day. That's, oh my
yeah,
God.
we
That's
stayed 3 days.
That's,
expensive to me. I don't know.
I could do that.
I
We
could do
stayed.
it too,
I
but
could work a
I buy
couple of
season
fry shifts at
passes, Jeff.
McDonald's and come up
That's
with
what they
We
60
do,
stayed.
Jeff. They'll
bucks.
charge $60 for a ticket, but a season pass is like less than 100.
Jeff, dude, that place is
You can
so
go every
fun.
day.
Oh my God. I'm so, because
Oh,
when I first moved here, I looked up amusement parks and all that shit. They didn't have any of that up here.
yeah.
And so I just resigned myself to the fact that I'm not going to have that kind of fun. And now that I know this is here, I have like
Yeah.
15 years of build up waiting to let out. I got to get to this water park somehow.
I gotta get to this water park.
Dude, it's so fun. They
Yeah.
have the wave pool. So you have where you can do the surfing, but they have a wave pool where they
I
have a
love the
big
wave
pool
pool. That's my
where
favorite.
they'll slap it down and the waves will come out. You're just like
They're
flying
big
around.
waves too. Like they're
The
big.
craziest shit is I had a chain on one time, and I guess I was
You lost
doing
it, didn't
something
you?
crazy, and I lost my chain
Oh, dude.
in the wave pool. I couldn't
They
find
have a
it.
Did
ropes
you ever get
course.
it?
Oh,
Did you ever get it back?
fuck. A mirror
I couldn't find
maze.
it.
They have a Build-A-Bear
Oh,
workshop.
dude. That sucks.
Yeah, Build-A-Bear. They'll Dunkin' Donuts. They'll have the nighttime bowling, so you can bowl like, and they put the lights off, and it's all IV.
Cosmic
So it's
bowling,
The
like,
yeah.
River Canyon run.
yeah, glow bowling.
They have the
What else?
toilet bowl.
Yeah, and the magic game. The kids love it. They have a little wand. They have to go around and they have to do a little wand and all. It's
What's
like
the
an
magic
adventure.
game? Can grown-ups play?
You can.
I want to do
But
the
you have
magic
to.
game. Let's see
But
what
they
this is.
get you
Magic Quest.
Magic Quest. Yeah, the magic game. And
Embark
you have
on
to
magical quest throughout the lodge. Oh wow, this would be fun to stream.
Yeah.
You choose a special magic wand. You top it up with extra powers. I'm sure with extra money too, and you set off
When
on a
did they let you
quest.
stream? You should be
It's
What do you
expensive.
do?
You know what they have, Jeff? They have the original Dragon's Lair game in there.
Oh
You know what
yeah,
Dragon?
I remember that from the pizza shop.
Well, it was
What
the
what is
first.
magic? What do you do with this magic wand?
So you go around to different things at the lodge, and you have to hit it, and you have to basically you're
Like,
like it's like a quest. Yeah,
what happens?
I guess you get points.
Does anything visual, or the wand just registers
You get
something from?
points.
Some
It's like a game,
some do
right?
and some don't. So some of them a
I
lightning
want to see
wand.
smoke or lights or a dragon or
Yeah,
something.
Jeff wants
yeah. So,
like an explosion.
I'm gonna have to go
yeah.
teach them how to do a magic quest. I'm be like, this ain't
Some of
nothing.
them will be
You call this a
some of
magic
them,
quest? Get out of my way.
some of them will be a light. Some of them will be like a sound. and some of like if it's like a treasure chest, it'll open for you.
They
You know,
need
it'll be
like
like
little creatures
yeah,
and monsters
little
and
fake bones in
sparkly,
there.
like
But
fairy
dude,
dust and all kind of shit. I'm gonna go. They need a gay in there.
what I'm trying to tell you is
Gay in there.
this place is so big. Just imagine this. Imagine a good size hotel. Okay, just a good size hotel that you've been at in your past, and imagine 10 times bigger, like
I'm
10
more
times.
interested in this ropes course. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. You got the ropes, and you got the, and then the one in Williamsburg has an
I hope all these
outdoor
little
pool.
kids are not on it when I'm there.
Yeah,
The
the one in Williamsburg
lines is
has a
the only thing I'd be not wanting to,
yeah.
lines.
It's awesome. The place is so cool. It's great for families. But we've taken our families there so many times. It's
I can
just
go there with
fun.
my antlers.
I hated that about Disney World. The
Everybody's wearing their
lines were ridiculous at Disney
little
World.
cat ears.
Yeah,
Everybody has things on their head. I would fit right in with my antlers.
So
Yes.
you ready for this?
Yeah.
You ready for this, Jeff? So this was one of my clients.
Probably
Great
have
Wolf
them
was one of
there.
my clients. So in Great Wolf Lodge, they had wolves that were on the top of like the ceilings and stuff. They were real taxidermy wolves. They were actually
Oh yeah,
real,
they were real wolves.
Oh,
and they had to get rid
that's
of
kind of
them.
grisly, like a wolf.
They had to
That's
get
kind
rid
of
of them
creepy.
because PETA complained about
Really?
having real stuffed animals. Yeah,
They
they were real.
complained?
They complained. I'm telling you, they had to remove them. I was like, well, can I have one? Can I take one home? It'd be cool
Can
to
I
have a
take
fucking
one
stuffed
home?
wolf in my house, you know?
You
They're
got to
like,
put a
no.
wolf right above where you're sitting, like for your
Yeah, right? Right
sleeps. You
next
have
to the
like a wolf,
F-15.
a wolf
You got a
head.
wolf in an Air-15. But I didn't know they were real.
Get one for Mr. P.
That's right. He'll make the wolf fall asleep though.
I mean,
The
I'll be
wolf
happy if they just have a hot tub, or oh my god, my favorite thing in the world, a lazy river. I
Oh,
could
I
just
love
float in the lazy
will.
river all day. That'll be worth $60 right there.
Dude, I
The
could
hot
just
tub
sit in that
game.
tube and go around all day in the lazy river.
So they have a big hot tub, right? And you can't go in the hot tub if you're a juvenile. You can't. It's for adults only, right? So
Yeah,
you
my
go into the
kids
hot
hate
tub.
that. They always want to go in.
You're not allowed.
Do they
Because of
have
the
one for the
technical-
kids?
I know, but I still
No.
let them go in. I don't care.
No.
I just
But
watch them.
this hot tub was for the adults. In other words, when you're trying to
No, I know
unwind,
what you mean. I know
you're
what
getting
you
the kids are running around. So we go into
Wow,
the
they
hot
even have
tub,
black
right?
people there.
I go into the hot tub, and it's like you can tell these people are very seedy. They're like looking at you kind of weird, like, "What's up? What's your room number?" I'm like, "Yo, I'm out of here." Like it was just
What's
like,
your room number?
yeah, it was like
I could
skanky.
tell
It
you've
was
never
like,
been to a gay resort.
no, I have not. I'm not planning. I'm not planning on it, Jeff. But no, I mean, I'm talking about I'm a good-looking 30-something-year-old guy at the time, and I'm like in there, and I'm rocking my gold chain and just chilling, and then these people from Minnesota are going, "What's up?" I'm just like, well, yo,
That's not how people from Minnesota do.
yo, but yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm all right. I'm good. I get up, they see the bulge, or like, what room is yours? I'm like, oh. I gotta go.
Oh,
I
they
gotta-
even
I
have a
gotta
Christmas
bounce.
tree. I'm not even gonna sleep tonight. I'm so excited that this thing is there.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
I'm gonna be looking at the website all night.
They're outside front smoking Newports with Tommy, plotting how to get me back to their room. It's like all kinds of crazy paradigms.
That's funny.
Oh wow, look at
Tommy's
the
like,
slide.
look, I'll get him in there. I hit him in the back of the head with a billy club. No, it's all good.
Jeff's planning
It's a
his
good-
next trip.
Oh, they have the little boats with the water guns. You can
Look at
fight
Jeff,
people.
he's a
Yeah.
kid on Christmas.
Dude, their place is so cool. Like you go in there and you feel like you're at Disney World. That's how cool.
I
this
already
place
feel
is.
that way just looking at the picture. Hey, truther.
It's so cool in there,
Oh,
man.
yeah, I think you got a free membership the other day from somebody. Welcome.
And the food is so good. Like it's very expensive. Like if you
It's
eat
always
there, like the
expensive.
restaurants and stuff.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I would
And
smuggle my own shit in.
You gotta
No,
like.
no. All right. So this is a cool
those
thing. This is a
places.
cool thing. So they have refrigerators in the room. So we bring our own food. I pre-pack tuna sandwiches and, you know, pre-made meals and stuff like that. But if you just feel like eating something real quick, you can go get a hot dog or a hamburger.
Because swimming makes
But
you
it's,
hungry too. I didn't think
yeah,
it. Yeah, I'm gonna
yeah. So check
need a
this out.
lot.
Check this out. The concession stand is inside the water park. So
Yeah.
in other words,
That makes sense.
you have to go grab something to eat, and you're like, let me get a hot dog. And they're like, okay, that'll be $7. Like, God damn, $7.
Yeah, it's expensive
Lord,
like
you know,
that.
like,
What if I get half a bud for $3?
and then they have a candy shop downstairs, and it's all like, and dude, I am a
They can have it. It's
pecan
gonna be full of
turtle.
kids.
I'm a pecan turtle fanatic. I love caramel, pecans, and chocolate. It's like the pecan turtles. Oh my God, they're
Oh
so
yeah.
good. They have all of like the cotton candy and all cookies and shit like that. But what I'm trying to say, and then they have a full on arcade, a whole fucking arcade downstairs. This place,
I just want a burger
now?
and lazy
still
river.
have 'em?
Just kick back with my burger and float.
Lazy River's great. You get on the fucking the inner tube, and you just go in circles on
Yeah,
the lazy river.
yeah.
Just takes
I
you
could do that
around and
all
around.
day long. In fact, if I ever get money and have my own place, I want one in my backyard. That's the one thing. I
The
don't even want a
funny,
pool. I just want to put in a lazy river.
the funnest thing ever though is when you go up top and you go down the spinning. I can't remember what it's called, but you
That
get on
toilet
an
bowl
inner
thing,
tube. You get on an
the
inner tube,
swirly ride.
The
and it goes,
swirly slide.
and then you come flying out the end, like fast.
Like a
And
slide,
they have
right?
the inner tubes for 1 or 2. And me and my son will be on there. Like going down the fucking, the whole thing. Dude, it's
The raw
wild.
flush. That's what they used to call it.
Yeah.
Hey, Sasquatch.
What up, bud?
Yeah, Jeff, I
I
gotta
just
jump out
discovered
for a
this
little.
water park that's near me.
I'll come back if you're still
Yeah.
on, all right?
That's cool. Peace
Tommy,
out.
salute.
Oh
All right,
yeah,
salute,
take
guys.
care.
Yeah,
I don't know
I
how
gotta
much
do some
longer I'll
stuff.
be going, but good to see you. What's up with you?
Water park. Isn't it a little cold for water parks right now?
It's indoor.
I don't think that's going to matter, bro. The last time I went to an indoor water park, it was like 22 degrees in that bitch.
Well, I'm hoping it's heat. They had a Christmas tree in there and everything, so apparently they're open for Christmas.
Huh.
It's warm. The water in Great Wolf is always warm. It's warm water. It's always warm. It's never cold. Yeah. It's all heated. Like the pools are heated, the water that comes down is heated, everything's heated. So it's never like freezing cold. You never get cold. Now they have an outdoor water park in the summertime. You can go outside to the back, and that water is cold because it's outside. But inside,
Does it have different stuff than the inside? I might want to wait to go in the spring then.
Yeah, the outside water park is like going to like a rec center pool. It's nothing. It's just cheesy. If you want to take the kids outside, you can take them outside. But inside
I
is
don't
where
want
all
any of the
fun
kids. They could stay there.
Yeah. No, a single person can stay there, but it's more fun with the family. It's a family atmosphere.
Bro,
But that
I'd be
place-
weirded out alone at a water park, dude. I'd be looking for an adult or something. Like, you don't need to leave me alone at a water park. What's wrong with you people?
Families
That's
come in
awesome.
all
Shenanigans all
kinds
get-
nowadays. I'm a family of
I
one.
mean, people go to Disney by themselves. They do. They go
Sure,
to Disney.
they're weird,
But-
dude. They're weird
but the
people.
thing
You
is
don't have
that-
normal people. Normal guys who have a job Monday are not going to the freaking. I'm sorry, dude. It's just a strange thing. It's
Not
not.
all of us. Not all of us
So-
fit that category.
I hear
So
you,
my
bro.
thing
But
is-
listen, like it's an unusual activity for an adult male to take part in by himself.
Adult.
That's all I'm saying.
That's the.
I've never
term
been
right
by
there.
myself. I've been with my son, my daughters, my family, but I can say that people go to Disney by themselves sometimes because it's nostalgia from maybe their past, from their childhood. They just want to,
Or to ride the
Disney-
rides because they're fun.
Yeah, but Great Wolf Lodge, it's more of a family dynamic. So yeah, they're more prone to have people with kids.
It can be whatever it wants. When I'm on that lazy river, I'm not going to care
yeah,
what it
but
is or what the other people are doing.
So It's a great thing from parks and recreations. It's called treat yourself. Remember that thing? Treat yourself. In other words, sometimes you just have to have a day for yourself, not for anyone else, and just enjoy yourself for the day and
Yeah, I
have
think I'm going to
fun.
be taking one of those soon.
Yeah. I'll be right back.
What's new?
Doing a show Monday with Captain Curmudgeon. He's saying that he's wanting to try to get back into the thing.
I've heard that
His
name. Maybe it was you that were
It was
was
me.
talking about it.
His daughter died a couple of months ago, and on a random freaking Tuesday, he texted me and was like, I'm not doing it anymore." And I was like, "Okay." And it's been a minute, but he's got some things he wants to do online, and so he wants to kind of get back in front of a camera and try to do something. So I set up something for Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern. We're going to go over recalled and banned toys, the most dangerous toys of our childhood, right?
Like yard darts.
Lawn darts, freaking the freaking house fire easy bake oven. You know,
Oh,
you
I
remember
had
the
an easy
pizza
bake. I
oven?
didn't know about the house fires.
The pizza oven.
Kinder eggs that
There
they
was
won't let us have, but the Canadians
there
get
was
to
an
keep.
easy bake oven that was done to make little pizzas, right? And this is late 70s, very early 80s,
That was
maybe.
probably my bottle.
And it had this little conveyor belt doohickey in it. And you'd kind of shove the little pizza in on one side and press the button, and it would like do 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 do. Well, it turned out if a child had on a glove or a long sleeve, and you hit the button, it would wind up and hit the it would jam up the stop that's supposed to it's supposed to stop running once the pizza goes out the other side, but instead it just reel the entire kid in. Like it ran their hand through a hole that wasn't big enough for a kid's hand to fit into, really. And there's a bunch of weird ones like that.
Wow. I don't
Easy
think I
bake
had the conveyor
oven.
belt one. I just had the ordinary oven.
Yeah, easy bake oven. The one that we had growing up, because my sister got one. It was just a light bulb. It cooked with a light bulb.
I think that was
Yeah,
mine. And you made
what
little
exactly?
cakes about that big.
That was the
That was all
second
I could handle.
bake oven, and those things caused house fires too, but it was different. The house fires were caused by kids trying to cook in their bedroom without anybody knowing, and they would get under their bed and plug it into the outlet under there and try to cook a cupcake and forget about it, and it'd end up sitting under there for 9 months with a cupcake sitting in it.
You remember?
I was more scared of electric blankets than any of
You
the
guys
toys.
remember? You guys remember color forms? The little things that
Yeah.
you would bake in the oven. The color forms.
No, oh no. I
Rinky-dink.
thought the color forms were the little vinyl things you peel off of the sheet and you stick them
The
on
color
things.
forms were
You
the
talking about the
little
creepy crawlers?
no, the
No.
shrinky dinks is what he's talking.
Oh yeah, we used to make shrinky dink Christmas
I
ornaments.
got a tattoo on my left ass cheek. Looks just like a shrinky dink particular.
Is it
Those
shrinking
are fun.
or expanding?
These were fun things,
That's
and
all what I mean, brother.
what
Yeah, I
was the other
remember
thing?
those. And if you put them in too long, they would curl up.
Yeah,
And we
a
had the
wreck.
ones where it was like the little plastic crystals, and you put them in the metal frame, and you put them in the oven, and it makes stained glass or
Yeah,
stained
yeah,
plastic.
yeah, yeah. Look like little paintings. We would do that in
Yeah,
junior high
I
school.
miss all of that. That was fun.
We'd make the shrinky dinks in junior high school, and not economic. What was it? What class was that? Where they had the oven? It's an elective. I can't remember what it was.
We had something called creepy crawlers. You squirt this colored goo into these little molds, and you plug it in, and it heats up, and it makes little rubber insects and snakes and
Hey, bro,
scorpions.
I used to use that setup to make lures. Like no,
Oh, yeah, it kind of is that same material.
and I go fishing with them.
And they had that. I remember that spin art thing where you would spin it and squirt the paint
Yes,
on it while it was spinning. It would make all these designs.
I had spin art, and then you could do t-shirts with it, make like the t-shirts and stuff with the tie dye and stuff like that. But do you
That's
remember
cool.
the little dinosaurs and you'd put them in water and they'd grow like 10 times bigger. Remember
I
those?
had I went to a freaking uh, uh, like a whole bunch of yard sales that are together, flea market type place, right? And I found a guy who had like an entire 5-gallon bucket of those little dinosaur pills you're talking about. And he was
Yeah.
selling them for $1 a scoop. And the scoop was like this big ass damn dog food scoop, the big metal cattle feed scoop of these things. And I was putting them things in everybody's shit everywhere for ever. I may still have a handful of them around.
Yeah. They blow up. It was the coolest little thing. And then growing up, also we had what's called mad balls. They were like it looked like a baseball, but it was plastic, and they had all these different faces on it, and you can squeeze them.
Oh, I vaguely remember though. Yeah.
Eyeballs that pop out. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So one of my most hated toys that I was forced to play with was a wiffle ball.
I remember the wiffle.
I always hated wiffle balls. I always thought it was really dumb. Why are we out here hitting a fucking wiffle ball? You freaking children.
I never did play with them. I didn't know what you're supposed to do with them.
Yeah. My favorite toy of all time growing up was G.I. Joes. I was a G.I. Joe fanatic. I loved G.I. Joes. I had hundreds of G.I. Joes.
They weren't the 12-inch, were they?
No, they were the smaller ones.
Yeah, those
like
weren't those weren't the real G.I. Joes.
But I had planes. I had the G.I.
But his
Joe.
had the Kung Fu grip.
I had the G.I. Joe home base, and I had Starscream. I had all the planes. I
Man,
had
we just had the
boats.
little gas station.
Those ain't G.I. Joes. Those are kids' toys.
That's what we're talking about. Kids' toys.
Yeah, but all
G.I.
the shit
Joes
now,
were the size of a
if you
Barbie
still
doll.
have it- Yeah, if you
Came with
still
a
have
foot
it,
locker, all the stuff. Yeah.
if you still have it, it's worth a lot of money. It's these vintage
Em,
toys.
have you met
are
Chuck?
worth a lot of money.
I don't. It sounds like he had a good day at Walmart today.
Did you?
$300 and didn't get shit.
You do better with a hooker, son.
I'm telling you, it was terrible. Ham was $40.
I'm gonna make.
You know-
I'm gonna make my sauce tomorrow. I'm gonna make spaghetti and meatballs tomorrow. I can't wait.
There's only me and my wife here for Thanksgiving, as far as I can tell. Looks like everybody's going everywhere else, so that's fine. I got a turkey breast just big enough for like 4 people, and we're gonna eat it all.
There you go. There you go.
Like a
That's
chop.
what I
My
wanted
roommate
to
got
do.
a free turkey, and neither one of us know how to cook it. So we're gonna attempt to try to cook a turkey and see what happens.
Oh, bro, dear God, brother, do you own an oven?
There's an oven, yeah, and there's YouTube.
Has it been used in the last?
Yeah, it's the one I cook all my pizzas in.
Oh, good. That means it won't smell like burned hair when you turn it on. So,
Probably not.
good. No, I mean, if you don't turn on the oven in 6 months, when you do turn it on, it smells like a fucking hair salon, dude. Like it smells horrible. What's up, Renaissance Rogue? Welcome in.
Jeff, if you want some turkey tips, let me know. I cook turkey all the time. So
Okay,
make
I
sure
might
it's
do
thawed
that. I
out.
know he's really the one doing it. I'm just kind of being there for moral support. But
Jeff,
I think he
all the
plans
inf-
to like do the preparation the night before and then put it in the oven
Yeah.
the next day or something.
Jeff, a
Do you
lot
have
of people that don't do turkey forget that they put those little plastic bags on the inside.
Oh,
of
I
the
remember
turkey.
that from growing up. Yes, you gotta get the
Okay.
bag out.
Got to get the
That's what
gizzards
the
out,
gibbets-
bro.
Yeah,
That's what the gibbets
don't
do,
worry
the
about
gibbets
that.
and gibbets.
There's this stuff called Creole butter. It is a type of injectable marinade. Bro,
That's what we use.
do yourself a favor. Go get you a bottle of that stuff and run the whole thing in that turkey. Be generous.
You inject it. You just like keep
Yeah.
poking it.
Just
You
a little,
shoot it up.
Yeah.
a little bit every slot.
Mhm.
It's fucking amazing, dude. Plus, because
That's
you've
what-
injected it with these oils and herbs, when you bake it, it forms that crusty skin, flaky thing going on. all of the juices kind of try to come out, but because it's overjuiced to start with, it's automatically juicy.
Who makes it? What company? I'm just coming up with recipes, but I
So
don't see an
it's
actual product.
okay, hold on, Lou.
Comes in a bottle because that's what we use.
You can make your own. You can make your own
I don't trust
marinade.
us to make our own.
Yeah, I make my own.
The
So
more
you just take
stuff we can buy from the store, the better I'll feel about this turkey.
Tony
But
Shasheries.
That's from us. That's Tony. Yeah, Tony
Yeah,
Sastries. That's us.
yeah. There's a couple
Sat-
of them. The one I like is Creole Butter in particular. That shit is awesome.
Saturday's, and they've been advertising this all over YouTube because it's getting close to Thanksgiving, so they've been advertising Saturday's all over YouTube.
Do you
But
deep
yeah,
fry yours, Sasquatch, or bake it?
But do not do this and try to deep fry the turkey.
That's a
Right,
fact.
right.
Fact.
yeah, we're
Bake
deep frying
your
ours
turkey.
this year. This year we're going to deep fry ours. We're going to deep fry ours.
But
Eat
but
pink
here's the thing: you can't, bro. Hear me out. You cannot use an injectable butter and deep fry.
Is
This
it
is a
Too much
bad idea.
moisture.
is it
Yep,
this
too much
thing?
moisture.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay,
Yeah,
got
yeah,
it.
Sasquatch. I can cook my tail off, dude. I mean, this is the first year.
I hear you. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
You be fucking
You're good, you're
careful.
good. No,
I've seen
you
a
want to put
nuclear
me?
bomb go off when that happened. It wasn't a frozen turkey; it was an injected one.
I told this to Jeff the other day, or was it Jeff or somebody else? I think it was Jeff. I had a friend of mine try to deep fry a turkey a couple years ago that was still halfway frozen.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
Boom,
Dude, his
kerboom.
house burned down. He was deep frying it right next to his house where he has
Brother,
plastic siding.
I am the deep
Yeah.
south, the home of deep frying stuff. I have seen
Yeah.
things burn that you wouldn't think would burn.
So when we deep fry, we do it in the driveway. We do it way away from the house because
Yeah, they were always doing it outside. When I love
Mhm.
deep fried turkey.
Well, they
Yeah.
got these new ones for the inside the house, but I'm not too sure about them.
Yo, if you know how to deep fry a
They're
turkey,
intentionally small though. Most of them aren't big enough to really do a whole shit ton of damage. Don't get me wrong. You can burn your damn house down with it. That is perfectly possible, but I'm saying you can't fit a 40-pound turkey in the damn thing. So it's not
True.
that bad. You get what I'm saying?
you know,
Maybe a
Mhm.
Cornish hen.
yeah, I
Hold
love,
up, man. Oh my God, that sounds delicious. A little Cornish hen deep fried.
Ooh.
okay.
You know
Ooh.
So
what I
you're
used
talking
to?
about, so if they're
When
talking
I
about
was in
Cornish game,
Germany, I used to
I'm a
get
Cornish
deep fried ham hocks.
I'm a Cornish game hen expert. Okay, and I
Oh
do them
my God.
different. So when I do, no, hear me out. Hear me out. Cornish game hens are the most
Deep fried
amazing
ham
little
hock.
birds you've ever had. I do them with apples and rosemary inside the cavity, and then I bake them slow with olive oil, salt, pepper, and garlic on the outside. So you have that strong flavor on the skin, but then you have the apple. The apple and the rosemary gives it the sweetness. That's just what I do with Cornish game hens, and they're great. You get them from Walmart. You can get them for like $5 a piece. You get two of them,
It's
10
called a
bucks.
crispy pata, brother.
That's
That's
it, man.
awesome.
Good stuff, man.
That shit looks good as fuck.
But I wouldn't
So
fry. I
I'm talking about the
wouldn't
deep
deep fry
fried
them.
ham hock. I'm talking
Oh
Chuck.
yeah.
I'm
They're
gonna
awesome. They
good.
are awesome. First
I tell
time I
you the
ever had
best
was
thing.
when I was overseas.
One of the best things I've ever had in my life, other than Chinese duck, where they do the candied duck, is
Yeah.
pig trotter, a pig's foot, but the trotter, like all the fatty part and stuff like that. When I used to eat pork,
Okay, I'm gonna go pee. I'll be
Bro,
right back.
I'm in Georgia. We have those things on convenience store counters in a bucket, and you can just eat them. You don't even got to pay for them. You just walk in and eat them.
It's called excess. Yep.
delicious, delicious. Pork is so fucking good. It's unbelievable. I stopped eating pork a few years ago, but pork is so
What
good.
are you Muslim or what?
No, I'm not Muslim. I had heart issues, and I had my cholesterol was really high, so I
But
was basically
pork is
told,
the good white meat.
no, it's very fatty. It's got a lot of fat, a lot of cholesterol. So I had to cut it out, and I just haven't gone back. Do I
How do
miss
you
it?
eat
Yes.
bacon then?
I don't eat bacon.
That's
No.
un-American.
And if I do crave bacon, I'll get turkey bacon, but it tastes like crap. It tastes like cardboard. It does.
Yep,
It tastes
anything
like cardboard.
turkey.
Yeah. So
Even
what I'll
even
usually
a
do is,
turkey burger, I have to
yeah, it's
doctor it up in order to eat it.
terrible. But you can make exceptions. You can get different kinds of sausages. You can get duck sausage. You can get turkey sausage. You can get different kinds of sausages to mix with the eggs. But I don't. I just me personally, I don't consume pork. Pork is an unclean animal. It's not good for you.
Pork is
So
not unclean.
it's unclean.
Where are you getting that from?
Well,
That's
uh, uh,
religion. All right, bro. You can't sit here and explain to us how you're not Muslim, not religious, or not too terribly spiritual, and then turn around and state a religious statement like pork is an unclean animal.
it's unclean. It
Humans
roots.
aren't
Yeah,
unclean animal.
Yeah. Pork roots and eats its own feces. So that's not something I want to ingest.
so do
That's all.
chickens.
Cows do too.
Chickens do too. Cows, yeah.
Okay. Hey
Chickens eat
guys,
their own.
it's getting dark here, and I still need to run out for the evening.
Jumping
So
off.
Well,
yeah, I'm gonna have to wrap this up so I can.
that's your
All right.
problem, Jeff, not ours.
Well, I'm
Right
not gonna
on.
leave. I'm I'm not gonna
I'm
leave
being
y'all on the
facetious.
stream. I mean, I
Y'all have
could
a
run
good one.
out
Much
on my
love, Jeff.
own,
Yeah.
but that would be a
All
lot
right,
of
later,
trust.
Sparge.
Yeah,
All
I'll
right,
jump
later,
down.
guys.
Okay, take care, Chuck. I'll be around again. You know that. All right,
Well, Jeff,
Mike.
another good stream, Jeff. So enjoy, get something to eat, and relax.
Yeah, I think so. If I may not be out this evening, I'll see how the night goes, but I'll definitely be here tomorrow. Joe and I are doing our Nexus thing. It's gonna be at the new time, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. So catch us then,
And
and
if you come
we'll
back
do
on
another
later,
one.
if you have a hankering for come back on later, I'll pop up if you're up. Just let me know.
Okie doke.
All right. Well, hey, it's good to see you, man. I like your
You
shirt.
too, and thanks for telling me
Great.
about the Wolf Lodge.
You like that, right?
Oh my God, I can't wait to go.
It's funny
Gives me
because
a goal. Gives me something to motivate me now to
yeah,
work
it
toward.
gives you a status point, but it's just like
It'll
people
probably be
get so negative.
anticlimactic, all the effort I'm putting into it, but still.
Yeah. All right, like listen, let's make this happen. Let's me and you go to Great Wolf Lodge together. We'll be shirtless. We'll be shirtless. We'll have gold chains flying around. You have
We could
antlers
stream it.
on. Yeah, we'll like, it's me and Jeff at the Great Wolf, bitches, and we'll just like, hanging out, dude. The internet would
I
explode.
know we could make it a pay-per-view event.
And the thing is, Jeff, I'm not gay, but we would make the greatest couple ever. We would. We would be just like, we would just
We'd make a
break everything.
pair, that's for sure.
We
I
would.
don't know how exciting it would be because it's mostly going to be me in the lazy river, just
Well, I mean, I would. I'd
chilled
be
out,
behind
floating.
you. I'd be behind you, yelling at you, Jeff, you bitch, come over here. You'd be like, get away from me. I'm trying to relax. Yeah. So no, it's all good, man. No, but we're Amos and Andy. We're always playing, which is great, which is good. So thank you for letting me carry it again. I'm tired now. I need a nap. But
Oh,
no, it's
go
good.
get a nap. I need food. I'm gonna go do that, and I'll be out again tomorrow.
I'm gonna go get a burrito. I'm gonna get a burrito, man. I can't wait. I'm in the burrito
Enjoy
mood.
your burrito.
Yep. Enjoy yourself, Jeff. Thank you for having me up. I'll see you later.
Take care.
All right.
Hang on. All right, that's it for me. Gotta go. Hang on. Let me find you another stream. I think Zat's doing his birthday stream, so I could send you over there. There's a lot that goes on a Friday, so you should have no trouble finding something to do. In the meantime, y'all can stop by and wish Zat happy birthday if you want. Here's his channel. And hope you do find something fun to do tonight, and I will see you again tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Take care, everybody. Have yourself a hell of a night.